everybody. From the Coliseum here in Southern California, in Los Angeles, the meeting again between Southern California and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And what an afternoon for it. It's heavily overcast. The indications are that we may have showers throughout the day. We had a light rainfall this morning, and this may be a hindrance, of course, to the passing games. It's a soggy field out here at the Coliseum, so it is very probable that it will also hinder the running game. And here on hand in Los Angeles to bring you the play-by-play action, the sports director of the Mutual Broadcasting System and the football voice of Notre Dame, Van Patrick.
Thank you very much, Al Wester, and let's go. Darrell Dewan is going back in the deep spot for Notre Dame. We've got a little bit of a switch back there for Notre Dame, and the other man back there for the Fighting Irish. Darrell Dewan I have, and the other man is Parker, and the ball goes out of the field of play as Ayala kicks it off. So it'll be brought back out to the 20-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10 to go for Notre Dame. Fighting Irish with the football now. They have Dan Novikov at center, Gary Koss and Jim Humbert at the guards, Mike Merton and John Dampier at the tackles, Creaney and Gatewood at the ends, Joe Theismann, the quarterback. We'll check the rest of the backs as they come out of the huddle. Southern California with Weaver, Vella, Nielsen, and Hall up front. Now Notre Dame, Bill Trapp is in there and is split out wide to the right. And Gatewood is deployed out to the left, and Theismann back to throw, throws to Trapp at the 25-yard line. He stepped out on the 24, and Bruce Dyer, the defensive back over on the left side from Dearborn Heights, Michigan, is the man who chased him out of bounds. So a gain of 4 yards on the play. It'll be second down coming up. John Chiskowski is in there at fullback for Notre Dame. Bill Trapp is in there at the flanker black out to the wide to the right. Split to the left now is Gatewood. Creaney's the tight end on the right side. Waiting for it is Theismann again. He's back, throws, and this one is tipped, batted down, incomplete. An incomplete pass intended for Gatewood out in the left flat. One of those big Southern California linemen reached up and got a hand on that one.
John Skiles is the man, Van, from Bakersfield, California. And Southern California is set up now to use a five-man front with two linebackers. Skiles moving into the starting lineup, and sliding in there is that fifth man in the middle. Hall, Grant, Vella, and Weaver, along with Skiles up there in that front rush.
Dewan is in there now replacing Bill Trapp. He split out to the left. Back goes Theismann to throw again. He looks downfield, throws to Gatewood. He's got it at the 40-yard line. Fights his way forward to about the 43 before he's hauled down by the safety man, Ron Ayala, the kicker from Lakewood, California, 5'9", 175-pound senior. So mark the ball on the 43-yard line, a 19-yard gain on the play. It'll be first down and 10 to go for Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish back in the huddle again. First and 10 from their own 43-yard line. Very overcast. We may have rain any moment here in Southern California. Now they're in the wishbone formation. One flanker, Gatewood, and the give is to the fullback, Chiskowski. He's to the 46, getting 3 yards on the play, and he's hauled down. Right on the 46-yard line. Slough is in there, the middle backer, along with Bruce Dyer, the cornerback on the left side. And John Vella, the left tackle of Southern California. It'll be second down and 7 yards to go. We're in the first quarter here at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, California. That clock up there, Al, is not moving around today. It's stationary.
Just clicking off on the middle there, Van, and that's about what we'll have to follow.
Gatewood split out to the left. The give this time is to Darrell Dewan, and Dewan gets to about the 43, getting back to about the line of scrimmage, 48 rather, and he is pulled down in there by Kent Carter and Greg Slough, the middle backer, and also Papadakis, the left linebacker from Rolling Hills. So they move the ball on the 48-yard line, where it'll be third down. 5 yards to go for Notre Dame. So now the crowd begins to yell for the defensive unit of Southern California to go to work. Wide to the right now is Tom Gatewood. Darrell Dewan is split out to the left. They're in a double wing. Waiting for it is Theismann. He's going back to throw. Dumps it over the middle to Chiskowski. Chiskowski is to the 40, to the 39. He's pulled down on the Southern California 39 by Kent Carter.
Well, I think Southern California, again, had started to put the pressure on quarterback Joe Theismann. They elected to push the linebackers in there, Slough and Papadakis. And, of course, with the five-man line already up there, Skiles is sitting in one of the tackle spots, John Vella over in the middle. They've got a five-man line rushing at all times.
Here's the give to the fullback. Chiskowski spinning in the line. He gets a couple of yards, that's all. Running off right guard, trying to follow Gary Koss of Minneapolis, Minnesota. He got a couple of yards. Greg Slough was in on the tackle. Joe Theismann, 122 completions and 210 attempts, 58%. Good for 1,903 yards and 14 touchdowns. In the way of receivers, Tom Gatewood has caught 67. Ball is on the 42. It's second down and 8 yards to go now for Notre Dame. They're in the power I formation, waiting for it is Theismann. Theismann's going back to pass, gets protection. Now he's in trouble, rolls out the right, looking for a receiver. He's going to run with the ball. He's down to the 35, and he's finally knocked out of bounds on the 34-yard line. He got into trouble. His receivers were covered, and finally Greg Slough, the middle backer of Southern California, chased him out of bounds. Little Joe Theismann, who's a Houdini back there, moved that ball to the 34-yard line. So it will be third down coming up for Notre Dame, and 4 yards to go.
Third and about 4, Van, and in this instance, Joe was looking for a would-be receiver. He tried to throw the football, realized he couldn't. The pressure again applied to him. They had 6 men charging in there on the quarterback. He came down the sidelines for the gain.
Wide to the right now is Dewan. Split out to the left is Tom Gatewood. Theismann going back, throws a sideline pass out there to Darrell Dewan, and Dewan is pulled down at the 31-yard line. He's a yard shy of the first down, and Charlie Weaver from Richmond is the man who made the tackle for Southern California. So it'll be fourth down and a yard to go, and Yoder, who did such a tremendous job against LSU last week, is staying right on the bench, Al, and so we're going to get Notre Dame trying for that first down with 4th and 1 from the 31 of Southern California. 11 minutes and 55 seconds to play in the first quarter. The power I formation with Gatewood barking out the signals now and looking in there on the offense, and the give is to the running back Julius, who cracks off right tackle, and he is in there for the first down. It's the third first down for Notre Dame. Gatewood was saying something there offensively as he was yelling out a signal, but Joe Theismann gave it off to Julius. Julius off right tackle, got it to the 28-yard line where it's first down and 10 to go. Notre Dame gambling on the 4th down and picking up the first down. Gatewood dropping off to the right. Bruce Dyer is over to cover him one-on-one. Theismann on a give now to Dewan. Dewan dives to the 25, getting free on the play. Greg Slough, the middle backer, along with John Papadakis making the tackle. Second down coming up, 7 yards to go. Notre Dame with the football on the 25-yard line of Southern California. We're in the first quarter. There's no score. 11 minutes of playing time remaining. Navy beat the Army today. Here's the wishbone formation. Joe Theismann with Gatewood out to the left. And Theismann now on the keepers down to the 20. Stays on his feet to the 15, to the 10. He's down to the 5. It's a touchdown for Notre Dame. Joe Theismann on a brilliant run.
What a magnificent play for little Joe. Here's something, Ben, I know he's always wanted to do, to get his football team an undefeated season, and he is on the way now. He's got the first touchdown on the scoreboard. You know, oddly enough, Dan, Theismann's starting assignment for Notre Dame came in the Southern California game 3 years ago. He caught 13 passes in the, he caught a 13-yard touchdown pass there in that ball game against Southern Cal 2 years ago.
Here's the kick. It's up. The kick is good. The score now is Notre Dame 7, Southern California nothing. We'll be back with the Notre Dame kickoff in just a moment.
Notre Dame will kick off. Southern California will receive. And I think, Van, the indication of what's going to be prevalent this afternoon on that field out there, we have just seen in this first drive. 80 yards in 12 plays, a 25-yard touchdown run by Joe Theismann to put the first touchdown, the first score on the scoreboard. Notre Dame leads 7-0. There is 10 minutes and 53 seconds remaining in the first period. The Irish are set to kick off.
Davis deep along with Lou Harris for Southern California. Smith will kick off for Notre Dame. The Irish leading 7-0. The soccer-style kick is coming down to about the 13-yard line. Back to the 20, back to the 25, and running it back is Lou Harris, who's from Sacramento, California. He's brought down as he reaches the 30-yard line. So it'll be first down and 10 to go now for Southern California. They have the ball on their own 30. West Virginia defeated Maryland 20-10. Tennessee is leading Vanderbilt 14-6 in the third quarter. Georgia Tech 17-7 over Georgia. Alabama leading Auburn 17-10. SMU trailing TCU 19-17 at the half. The I formation, the give now is to the fullback, running straight ahead Davis. And Davis is hauled out on about the 33-yard line. Gain on the play of 3 yards. It'll be second down and 7. In the bottom of the pile for Notre Dame was Kadish. Mike Zekas is out of this ball game. He suffered a broken arm during the week. So it will be 2nd down and 7 yards to go for Southern California. They have Dickerson and Mullins in there at the ends. Jimmy Jones, the quarterback. Davis, Cunningham, and Chandler in that backfield. And Chandler split out wide to the left. Dickerson is also a fine receiver. And here's Jones rolling out the right, looking for a receiver. He hits one over on the right flat at the 40 to the 45, on down to the 50. And to the 47-yard line goes Charlie Evans, who floated out of the backfield and over in the right flat. Little safety valve pass, and Jones hit him perfectly. Hits the first down for Southern California with the ball on the 47-yard line of Notre Dame.
That's the 9th pass this year they've thrown to Charlie Evans, the senior from Gardena. Actually, he has not used the rollout pattern too much to Evans. The passes have gone instead to Clarence Davis and to Sam Cunningham.
They flood the zone to the right this time in the pro set. Waiting for it is Jones, the quarterback. And Jones on a give to Cunningham, and Cunningham running off right tackle to the 45-yard line and is brought down on the 45. Kadish in there on the tackle again for Notre Dame as they mark the ball on the 45. Clarence Davis, 181 carries, 881 yards. He's averaged 4.9. Sam Cunningham, 74 carries for 490. Alabama leading Auburn now. No, they're tied now. They've tied up the game at 17 all. Two flankers out to the right again as Jones calls the signals from the 45-yard line. 3rd down coming up for Southern California, and he gives it off to Davis. Davis running wide at the 40, turns the corner to 35, goes on down to the 30, and is pulled out of bounds as he reaches the 29-yard line. So Southern California is coming right back. Greg Marks over there with Petulski, and they finally forced him out of bounds on the 29-yard line. It's a first down for Southern California.
Ralph Stefaniak came across, of course, from the corner there, Ben. Got him in the back of the football trousers and managed to yank him to a halt and set him up for the tackle to be made. But when you've got a fellow like Clarence Davis with all the speed this fellow's got, believe me, he'll drive you crazy the way he runs. He has 7 touchdowns scored running this year.
Two flankers again. They're in the I formation. Waiting for it is Jones. Jones is going back to pass, finds a man out on the right flat out there open, and that is Chandler, and Chandler is bumped out of bounds down on the 10-yard line. Another first down for Southern California. That's 3 first downs, and the Trojans, who were trailing 7-0, are coming right back. 19 yards gained on that play.
And I've got to believe that the fine play action by Southern California on that play. They gave it a lot of play action up the middle, got the man out on the far sidelines there, and he was, as you said, wide open, nobody within 5 yards of him when the quarterback, Jimmy Jones, dropped back and threw the strike.
Dickerson and Chandler are both on the right side. The I formation with a first down and goal to go. They go into the pro set, and 2 Notre Dame men jumped across the line. Now let's see whether Southern California pulled them off or not. We are in the first quarter with 9 minutes to play, and Notre Dame leading by a score of 7-0. Mullins is in at tight end now, replacing Young. The penalties against Southern California. Illegal procedure, which drew Notre Dame offside. Checking in now is Chuck Jacques, coming in for Notre Dame, replacing a linebacker, number 45, Eric Patton. And Young has gone out. Mullins in at the tight end for Southern California. 2 flankers again. They're in the I formation with a first down and 15 yards to go from the 15-yard line. Jones calling the signals. Jones on a give now to his running back again. A flag is down. Davis is hit as he reaches about the 13-yard line, but a flag is down. Big roar over there from the Southern California side. It's holding against Notre Dame.
Van Notre Dame was blitzing with Rich Thoman and Jim Wright, 2 of the 4 linebackers. And Notre Dame, of course, we've many times pointed this out, and the Irish fans know, play the 4-4-2-1 defense. They will have 4 men on that front line, Notre, Marks, Kadish, and Petulski, and backing them up, the 4 linebackers, Rick Thoman, Tim Kelly on the outsides, Jim Wright, Eric Patton on the insides. The 2 corners are Clarence Ellis and Ralph Stefaniak. Mike Crotty, usually playing that safety spot, comes in there real tight. They fold in inside the 20-yard line very well. And on that last play, they had both linebackers, Thoman and Wright, blitzing on the play, so they had them in there in the backfield. Thoman was key on making the tackle.
Dickerson and Chandler flanked out the right. It's the first down from the 8-yard line after the holding penalty against Notre Dame. Pitches back to Davis. Davis at the 5, and he's tackled on the 2-yard line on a power sweep around the left side. In there was Stepaniak to make the tackle for Notre Dame. And so the Southern California Trojans, trailing by a score of 7-0, are bounding right back, and they have the ball now marked on the 3-yard line where it's second down and goal to go for Southern California. They're interchanging Mullins and Young, indicating they're calling the signals from the bench for Southern California. Notre Dame leading by a score of 7-0 here in the first quarter. Now Dickerson and Chandler are both flanked out wide on the right side. And Jones on a pitch back to Davis, and Davis down to the goal line is in the end zone. Touchdown, Southern California. So the Trojans, after being stung by a 25-yard touchdown run by Joe Theismann, have come back after the kickoff and marched 70 yards in 8 plays, with Davis carrying on the last 3 to move into the end zone, and a chance to tie it up now as Ayala is in to do the kicking. Ayala, who's the all-around handy kicker, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. So the scores, Notre Dame 7, Southern California 7. We'll be back with the Southern California kickoff in just a moment.
Down there with the ball down is Ron Ayala, and Notre Dame is ready to receive.
Well, one thing about it, Al, the fast touchdown by Notre Dame didn't shake Southern California too much. They came right back with a 70-yard drive to tie this ball game.
That's right, Van, and I must say that they did it impressively. They did it with a good deal of action on the ground. Their play action looked awfully good. They used that twice, and of course their quarterback throws that football with authority. He's one of the fine young quarterbacks on the Pacific Coast.
Dewan is deep along with Parker. Ayala will kick off, and he moves forward, and here's the booth. Kind of a spinning kick, bounces around. It's taken by Dewan at the 10. He's back to the 20, 25, comes on up to the 30, to the 33-yard line before he's hauled down. So it'll be first down and 10 to go. Bob Erickson is the man who made the tackle there for Southern California. So it'll be first down and 10 to go for Notre Dame from their own 33-yard line. 23-yard return by Darrell Dewan. That was sort of a floating kick that bounced around. Gatewood is the flanker, out to the right. It's the wishbone formation with Joe Theismann, the quarterback. Theismann, a keeper, and he tries left guard. He gets just about a half a yard. He runs into Charlie Weaver over there along with Nielsen, the right tackle of Southern California. They haul him down. He got exactly a half a yard. So make it now second down, and let's just call it 9 yards to go. Clock shows 7 minutes and 40 seconds of playing time remaining in the first quarter. Scores Notre Dame 7 and Southern California 7. Notre Dame with Gatewood flanked out wide to the right, the second leading pass receiver in the nation. And they split Gulius out to the left in the I formation. Jaskowski is in there at fullback, and here's Theismann going back to pass. He throws one deep to Creaney, and it's incomplete and almost intercepted by Ayala. He had a hand on that ball and almost picked it away there. Creaney was the intended receiver, the tight end who had gone deep, incomplete.
Ron Ayala, he has 7 interceptions so far this year. He is not actually that speedy, Van. He doesn't have all that speed, but this young fella apparently is capable of, in his mind, of placing himself in the right positions. The publicity director was telling me that the lack of speed was made up by the knowledge of the game.
Theismann is going back to throw again. He's in trouble to haul down. Back on the 23-yard line, and Nielsen went pouring through there that time to bring him down. Bella was also in on the tackle on the 25-yard line, and listen to this crowd at Southern California. It was 6 years ago to the day that the Irish came to Los Angeles undefeated and playing for the national championship. The Trojans were 6-3 that season. Notre Dame was 9-0. A great upset that day, 20-17. And Hudson is back in the safety spot. High pass from center to Yoder, but he gets it away. High floating kick coming down on the 45-yard line. Hudson moves forward about 3 yards, and he's dumped on the 48-yard line. So Southern California with good field position. They have the ball on their own 48-yard line, a 30-yard kick and a 3-yard return. So it's first down and 10 to go now for the Southern California Trojans. Southern California back in the huddle. Out of it they come with Dickerson and Chandler flanked out to the right. They're in the I formation. Notre Dame has 6 men up front defensively, moving a linebacker up, and waiting for it now is Jones, the quarterback. Jones on a give to Davis. Davis trying right guard, gets to the midfield stripe and possibly into Notre Dame territory, and Marks and Kadish went on the tackle for Notre Dame as they bring him down right on the 49.5-yard line. Let's call it the 49. Give him a couple of yards. Make it second down and 8. Now we got a change in the backfield. Charlie Evans has gone out. Sam Cunningham has replaced him at fullback for Southern California. Dickerson and Chandler are both flanked on the right side. It's the I formation again. Now they go into the pro set. Waiting for it is Jones, and Jones is going back to throw, stays in the pocket, gets protection, fires one, it is caught at the 28-yard line. On down to the 20 goes Davis, and Davis is finally bumped out of bounds. Down on the Notre Dame 18-yard line by Mike Crotty. And Jones is getting great protection, giving his receivers time to get downfield and get over.
And, of course, rolling a man out of the backfield with the great speed that Clarence Davis has. Down the sidelines he went, and I mean he got in the pocket there, in between the cornerback, just behind the cornerback and the linebackers. Got in there, made the grab, is out of bounds at about the 18-yard line.
32 yards gained on the play, first down on the 18. The pitch back now to Davis again. He cutting in over left tackle, gets to the 15 and down to the Notre Dame 14. And in there to make the tackle was Crotty along with Rick Tolman. Down on Stepaniak coming up from the secondary on the 14-yard line, a gain of 4 on the play. And now Evans is going out. Cunningham is coming back in at fullback for Southern California. So the Trojans are down threatening again as they have tied up this ball game at 7-7. They move Chandler wide to the right. Dickerson is split out to the left. Jones, the quarterback, barking out the signals. Jones is going back to throw. Look at the time he's getting. The pass is caught down on the 5-yard line. And the tackle is made immediately on Chandler by Stepaniak, but they've got a first down on the 5-yard line of Notre Dame.
Then I've got to believe that the defensive backs, the deep backs now for Notre Dame, have been playing these receivers a little bit too deep, about a step or a step and a half too deep, and very quickly, I am sure, that will be corrected. George Kelly, Paul Schultz with the secondary of Notre Dame will change that very quickly. But Southern Cal really can throw the football.
Ball on the 5-yard line. It's first down and goal to go. The pitch back now to Davis. Davis around the right side. Power sweep. Touchdown, Southern California. The Trojans lead. Here's the kick by Ayala. It's up in the air, but no good. No good. So the score now is Southern California 13, Notre Dame 7. We'll be back with the Southern California kickoff in just a moment. Ayala will kick off. Dewan is deep along with Parker. It's a good high end-over-end kick taken by Dewan on the goal line. He's back to the 5, 10, 15, 20. Following his blockers to the 25. Comes on up to the 28-yard line. And is tackled on the 28-yard line by Kent Carter, number 87, a linebacker from Los Angeles. So it'll be Notre Dame's ball, first down and 10 to go. Action.
As you know, Van, this is only the third time this year that we've trailed in a football game.
Notre Dame has got a battle on their hands again. Gatewood is flanked out wide to the right. Waiting for it is Joe Theismann. Theismann on a give to Darrell Dewan, who's going wide. And he is tackled as he reaches the 27-yard line. And in there making the tackle was Kent Carter from Los Angeles, 6'3", 215-pound rover back. So they'll mark the ball on the 28-yard line, where it'll be a yard loss on the play. It'll be second down, 11 yards to go. Southern California leading Notre Dame by a score of 13-7. We've got 4 minutes and 15 seconds of playing time remaining in the first quarter. Wide to the right is Darrell Dewan. Tom Gatewood is deployed out to the left in the I formation. Waiting for it is Theismann, and Theismann is going back to pass. Stays in the pocket, throws it incomplete. He threw it short of the tight end, Creaney. Creaney had gone down the right sideline over to cover for Southern California. It was Carter again, and they call him the rover back, and he's aptly named now.
Man, he gets out all over that field and gives you good rush sometimes. Sometimes you see him drop up into the line there.
And then now for Notre Dame, number 18, Bob Menix is split out to the right. Theismann back to throw. Rolling out to the right, looking for a receiver. He's in all kinds of trouble. Reverses his field, goes to the other side. Gets a block. He's at the 30. Comes on up to the 37. Fumbles the ball. Let's see who got it. The whistle is blown on the 36-yard line. Joe Theismann getting into all kinds of trouble. Reversed his field. Went to the other side. Couldn't find anybody open. Had to stay with that football. So they'll mark the ball on the 36-yard line, where it will be 4th down, and Jim Yoder comes in to do the kicking now for Notre Dame. So the Irish, Yoder, 35 kicks this year, averaged 39.2. And as Bill mentioned, they are finding the going a little rough here against a fired-up Southern California team in the first quarter. Hudson is deep. Yoder booms this one downfield. Hudson has to go back to field the ball on the 26. 35 to the 40. Comes on back to the 43-yard line with it, which matches the number on his jersey. It'll be 1st down and 10 to go for Southern California from their own 43-yard line. 38-yard kick and a 17-yard return.
Chiskowski made the tackle, Van. On the front team there, it was the big fullback, John Chiskowski of Detroit, Michigan, who made the tackle. But did you see that feller come right back up an alley of white jerseys there? He really has a great running ability.
Here's the I formation with Dickerson off to the right side along with Chandler. Waiting for it is Jones, and Jones tripped as he went back, so he'll be down on the 35. He was going back to pass. He tripped over one of his backs, fell down on the 35-yard line. Let's see what the officials mark at the 36. He lost 7 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 17 yards to go. Clock shows 2 minutes and 40 seconds of playing time remaining in the first quarter. They keep changing the 2 tight ends, Mullins and Young, and they're calling the signals, I'm sure, from the bench here for Southern California. I don't know who's calling him, but he's doing a pretty good job for him.
He's quarterbacking pretty well.
Dickerson and Chandler both on the right side. In the pro set, waiting for it is Jones. Jones is going back to throw again. He throws a little screen pass out in the left flat at the 35-yard line to Davis at the 40. Davis at the 46. He's hauled down on the 46-yard line. Stepaniak was in there on the tackle along with Toman of Notre Dame. A screen pass out in the left flat. Move that ball to the 46. So it'll be 3rd down and 7 yards to go now for Southern California. The Trojans are leading Notre Dame 13-7 with 1 minute and 55 seconds to play in the first quarter. Mullins and Young interchanging again. Chandler goes to the right side. Sam Dickerson is split to the left. They're in an I formation now with Davis in the top of the I. Waiting for it is Jones, the quarterback, and he's going back to throw again. He gets time. He looks, throws a swing pass in the right flat. It's completed out there to the fullback, who's on down to the 45-yard line before he's brought down. He swung it back out of there. Charlie Evans again out on the right flat. Evans down on the 45-yard line. That's 6 first downs for Southern California. And listen to this crowd here today. 1st and 10 to go now. Cunningham is back in, replacing Charlie Evans at fullback. Dickerson and Chandler on the right side. The ball is on the Notre Dame 45-yard line. And look at the protection, the great line blocking up front. That's making the difference for Southern California. And Jones is going back. Look at the time he's got. He goes for the home run ball, and it is caught for a touchdown. It is caught by Sam Dickerson in the end zone. Touchdown, Southern California. Dickerson made an impossible catch. He had 2 Notre Dame defensive backs right with him, and he still caught that ball. Seven yards in 4 plays. Notre Dame trailing 19-7 in the first quarter with 57 seconds to play in the first quarter. Jones is 7 out of 7 for 143 yards. They're going to go for 2 points. And Jones back to throw. Look, throws. Caught! Another sensational catch by Chandler. A sensational catch by Chandler. And it's Southern California 21, Notre Dame 7. We'll be back with a Southern Cal kickoff in just a moment.
Well, Van, if you will remember, Moose Krause, Ed Moose Krause, the athletic director of Notre Dame, pointed out to us earlier that this team had it all if they put it together, and it looks like they're putting it together.
Here's a kickoff down to Parker in the end zone. He elects not to run it out. So it'll be brought back out to the 20-yard line where it'll be first down and 10 to go for Notre Dame, trailing 21-7 here in the first quarter of this game at Southern California. Almost unbelievable the way the Trojans have gone, and Jones with 7 out of 7. And the line blocking up front, Al, is making the difference for Southern California.
That's right. The defensive unit of Notre Dame has not been able to get to the quarterback this afternoon, Van.
Rice leading Baylor 28-16 in the third quarter. Theismann now will have to take to the air. He throws a swing pass out in the left flat. It's completed to Gulius. Gulius gets a block. Gulius is at the 40. He's up to the 45. He's finally hauled down from behind on the 48, but there's a flag on the play. On the 48-yard line, they finally hauled Gulius down, but he might be clipping against Notre Dame. John Dampier down there talking to the official, but they've whistled it back. So Joe Theismann will have to play catch-up football. He's trailing 21-7 here in the first quarter with 45 seconds, clipping against Notre Dame. Number 75, John Bella, the tackle, is going out. 6'4", 245 pounds, is going out. John Skiles is coming in to replace him at tackle for Southern California. First and 21 to go now for Notre Dame. Second Notre Dame penalty, 17 yards. Ball back on the 8-yard line. Theismann giving on the draw play this time to Gulius. Gulius gets a block, comes up to the 15-yard line with it. And he is tackled right there. Making the tackle, number 92 in there for Notre Dame was Toddy Smith along with Greg Slough, the middle backer. Ball on the 15-yard line. Notre Dame back in the huddle again. Clock running out here with only 20 seconds of playing time remaining in the first quarter. Southern California leading Notre Dame 21-7. Tom Gatewood flanked out to the right. Gulius is split out to the left. Theismann now on a give to his fullback. Running off left guard to just about the 17-yard line. Toddy carry. And that's the end of the first quarter with a score. Southern California 21, Notre Dame 7.
Well, Van, that's about 83 yards, if my arithmetic is right, from where that football and the line of scrimmage is to get it in for a touchdown. And that's the job that quarterback Joe Theismann must concentrate on as they break the huddle.
He's got 3rd and 13 to go from the 17-yard line of Notre Dame. In a slot formation, Theismann back to throw, stays in the pocket, runs out of it now as he gets in trouble, and he fires one deep to Creaney. He's got it at the 45, he's at the 50, the 45, the 40. Creaney is down to the 36-yard line. The ball is picked up there by Southern California, and it's fumbled by Creaney, and Dyer picks it up for the Trojans. Creaney is talking with the official. He thought the whistle had blown.
I'm sure that Creaney felt the whistle had blown. He was down on the ground when that ball slipped out of his hand. It was picked up by a Trojan who started to return it, had returned it about 8 yards. The whistle continued to blow. The ball is brought back. Southern California takes possession on a fumble after a great pass play. A tremendous effort by Joe Theismann. Southern Cal has the ball at that 37.
47 yards on the play, but Southern California has the football on the 36, and Jones is back to pass. The flag is down. The pass is incomplete. Ellis had the ball in his hands, intended for Chandler, and couldn't hold it. Oklahoma 66, Oklahoma State 6, final score. And Memphis State 14, Cincinnati 10, that's the final score. The penalty will be assessed against Southern California. Backfield in motion penalty declined by Notre Dame. The give is to the fullback now, Davis. Davis at the 40. He gang tackled finally as he reaches the 41 or 2-yard line. Mike Crotty in there in the bottom of the pile along with Bob Neidert to make the tackle. So they'll place the ball on the 41-yard line. It'll be a gain on the play of 5 yards. Second down and 5 to go. Southern California leading by a score of 21-7 as we play here in the second quarter. Now Cunningham is replacing Charlie Evans at fullback for Southern California. Dickerson and Chandler are flanked out wide to the right. Jones calling the signals for Southern California. He's got third down and 5 yards to go. Jones on a pitch back now to Davis. Davis cuts in, gets a few yards, is knocked out of bounds up around the neighborhood of the 45-yard line, where he'll be a little short of the first down. Let's see where they mark him going out of bounds. Stepaniak is the man who knocked him out of bounds for Notre Dame. So they'll place the ball on the 45-yard line, which means he'll be short of a first down. That brings up a fourth down. Let's see if Southern California, leading by a score of 21-7, gets Ayala in there to do the kicking. Crotty is going back here in the safety spot. And number 23, Ellis. Ayala back to kick. Low end-over-end kick. Bounces around, finally rolls to a stop on the 27-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 to go now for Notre Dame. 28-yard kick on the part of Ayala. It'll be first and 10 for Notre Dame from their own 27-yard line, or 28 when they place it down to 28. First and 10 from that point. 21-7. Southern California leading Notre Dame. Almost unbelievable. The Trojans came back after spotting Notre Dame a fast touchdown. The Irish out of the huddle. They send DeWand out wide to the left. Tom Gatewood is flanked out to the right side in the I formation. And Theismann rolling out to the left, looking for a receiver, throws one completed at the 35-yard line to Ciskowski. Ciskowski takes it on to the 43-yard line before he's hauled down from behind by Kent Carter, the roverback.
There's that roverback again, Van. Carter moves beautifully laterally across that field. He covers a lot of ground, and he was responsible for that last tackle and has been on about a half a dozen tackles here in the first half. About 13 minutes remaining in the first half. The Irish trailing 21-7.
15 yards gained on that pass play to John Ciskowski. Gatewood is flanked to the right, DeWand to the left. Waiting for it is Theismann again. He rolls out to right, looking for a receiver, throws one over the middle at the 50-yard line. It's completed to the 48-yard line. Goes Ciskowski, the fullback, grabbing his second straight pass. Greg Slough is the man who brought him down. So little Joe Theismann has his ball club moving now, but they're trailing 21-7.
They're flooding the zone over there, Van. They had 3 men in the zone over there. They had Mike Creaney, they had Darrell DeWan over there, and they had John Ciskowski.
Ready to go with one flanker out wide to the left. Waiting for it is Theismann. He's rolling out to the left. The pressure is on him. He throws to Gatewood. Incomplete. Gatewood was covered by Bruce Dyer. The pass was incomplete, but they're putting the pressure on Theismann. He had to get rid of the ball in a hurry. He didn't give Gatewood a chance to get into the open. Florida 13, Miami of Florida. Would you believe this? 14. 14-13. Miami of Florida has upset Florida.
There is one of the big upsets of the year, Van.
No question. Here's the power I formation. Waiting for it is Theismann, and Theismann on to give now to DeWan, and he goes nowhere. He is bumped right at the line and then shoved right back. Roverback Kent Carter hit him first. And Skiles, the defensive right tackle from Bakersfield. Ball on the 49-yard line. It'll be fourth down, Notre Dame. Fourth down and about 3 yards to go. Yoder's in to do the kicking. Theismann comes out. Hudson is going deep now for Southern California. Jim Yoder standing back on about the 37-yard line. Waiting for the snap. Steve Buches in there to do the centering. And the kick is away. Yoder booms this one deep. Hudson is calling for a fair catch. Lets the ball roll. It goes on down to the end zone. So it'll be brought back out to the 20-yard line. A kick of 49 yards on the part of Jim Yoder.
Southern California breaks the huddle and comes up to the line of scrimmage with a first down at their 20. Van?
Dickerson and Chandler flanked out to the right. Jones calling the signals, gives that ball off to Davis again, and Davis running off left guard, gets to the 24-yard line with it. And the tackle is made right there. Stepaniak coming up along with Walt Patulski, the defensive end who played so great last week against LSU. And Mike Crotty coming up from the secondary, so they'll mark the ball on the 24. It'll be second down and 6 yards to go for Southern California. Trojans out of the huddle. Dickerson is flanked out to the right. Split out there with Chandler again. Davis in 11 carries has gained 50 yards. Waiting for it is Jones, gives it to him again, and he's hit at the 25 this time and knocked right back by the middle of that Notre Dame line. With Stepaniak coming up from the secondary to aid on the tackle. Bottom of the pile there is Greg Marks, the linebacker Jim Wright of Notre Dame. And number 72, Mike Kadish. They mark the ball on the 25-yard line. It'll be third down and 5 yards to go for Southern California from that point. Boston College lambasted Holy Cross today. Out of the huddle now, Southern California. Sterling over the ball. Graffin split out. Now they go into a slot formation and drop Davis in the slot to the right. And Jones is back to throw. Throws it. It is caught on the 35-yard line by Dickerson. Goes to the 40. Goes to the 45. He's to the 50. Is finally hauled down as he reaches Notre Dame territory. And they brought him down on the 48-yard line. And how he got over, they had 3 men up in that zone with him.
And at 27 yards on that pass play. And I must say that Sam Dickerson could have broken this game wide open, because if Southern Cal had broken him all the way and he was out there by himself, if you note, it was Eric Patton who wrestled him down from behind on the tackle. Another touchdown, and the Trojans would really have busted this thing open.
First and 10 now from the 48-yard line of Notre Dame. He's trying the middle of the Notre Dame line, gets to about the 46-yard line. There he is brought down. Kelly coming in there along with Patton. And Kadish and Marks, the 2 tackles. Checking in now is Chuck Schlock into the secondary for Notre Dame, and coming out of there is the linebacker Patton. Ball is on the 46-yard line. The series of downs originating on the 48, so it's second down and 8 yards to go now for Southern California with the ball on the Notre Dame 46. Dickerson is flanked to the right. Chandler split out to the left in the I formation. Jones with a second down is going back to pass. He looks, he throws, and it's incomplete. Intended over there for Bob Chandler in the left flat, but incomplete. He was covered by Stepaniak, but it's incomplete, which brings up a 3rd and 8 situation now for Southern California. Trojans are leading 21-7. We've got 8 minutes and 57 seconds to play. Rod McNeil is coming in the backfield, replacing Clarence Davis for Southern California. Ball resting on the 46-yard line of Notre Dame. Third down, 8 yards to go. Dickerson and Chandler, the 2 fine receivers, flanked out to the right again for Southern California. And Evans and McNeil are the setbacks. And here's Jones going back. He flips one out there in the left flat that's completed. But McNeil is tackled immediately on the 45-yard line. He lost yardage on the play.
Jim Wright was blitzing on the play, Van. He really put the pressure on. He got back there on top of Jones. He came firing through a hole there. Got back there on top of Jones so fast that he had no other opportunity except to throw it in a hurry. He threw it out there. McNeil had it and was down behind the line of scrimmage, and Southern Cal will have to punt.
4th down, about 17 yards to go. Ayala gets his kick away. Short kick, it's rolling around and finally goes out of bounds on the 34-yard line in Notre Dame territory. So it'll be first down and 10 to go. Check where it went out. It'll be around the 38. They're going to mark it. Notre Dame's ball, first down and 10 to go from the Notre Dame 34-yard line as we go back to work with Southern California leading by a score of 21-7. The Irish trying to regroup here after getting on the short end of the score. Tom Gatewood out wide to the left. Darrell Dewan is flanked out to the right. They line up in the I formation. Creaney the tight end on the left side. Joe Theismann the quarterback. And Theismann is going back to throw. He looks, he throws deep to Gatewood at the 45. He's at the 40. Gatewood fights his way on down to the 38-yard line. Ayala makes the tackle. A flag is down. A flag is down. It may be a personal foul against Southern California. Let's see.
I've got a feeling it's going to be against the Roverback, Kent Carter. The officials are indicating it is against Southern California. And as you said, Van, it is going to be a 15-yarder, a big penalty, which moved the Irish now down deep into Southern California territory. 15 yards stepped off, and it was against the Roverback, Kent Carter. After the Notre Dame man had been stopped, he piled into the group and knocked them all down. The ball is brought down to the 23-yard line of Southern California. Notre Dame has a first down.
Waiting for it now is Joe Theismann with 2 flankers. Theismann back to throw. Has to run out of the pocket. He looks. He throws to the end zone to Creaney. He can't reach it. It's tipped away. It was tipped away in the end zone by Greg Slough and just barely tipped out of his hands. So they'll bring it right back to the 23-yard line where it'll be second down and 10 to go for Notre Dame. trailing by a score of 21-7, but the one thing that Notre Dame has got to do right now is get on that board, which might turn the game around a little. Theismann has attempted 13 passes, completed 8 for 137 yards. He scored 1 touchdown on a 25-yard run. Wide to the left is Gatewood. In the slot to the left now, they send Gulius out to the left, and Gatewood goes in tight. And back goes Theismann again, and he throws to Gatewood, incomplete at the 11. That stops the clock again. Kent Carter over there to cover. He's the rover back, and he keeps moving around in there defensively for Southern California. Pass incomplete. Back to the 23, where it'll be third down. It's beginning to rain here now at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, and as Bill mentioned, the lights are on. Ball on the 23-yard line. Notre Dame breaks out of the huddle. They send Tom Gatewood out wide to the right. Ed Gulius is flanked out to the left. Waiting for it now is the quarterback, Theismann, and Theismann is going back to throw once more. He looks, he throws, it's completed to the 1 at the 20. He's the 15, he's down to the 10, he's down to the 9-yard line. It's a first down, I believe. Let's see where they're going to mark that ball. It'll be a first down on the 9-yard line of Southern California. Ayala and Slough are the two men who brought him down.
Now the Irish are cranking it up. They've got their short passing game clicking. They tried the long one a moment ago. It went astray. They tried to get it into the end zone to Mike Creaney, and of course that did not work. And now inside the 10-yard line, Notre Dame with a first down and a goal to go.
That's 6 first downs for Notre Dame. 2 flankers. They're in the I formation. Theismann now rolling out to the left, looking for a receiver. Dumps one out there. It's completed to Skowski, and he barrels his way into the end zone. It's a touchdown for Notre Dame. And did they have pressure on Theismann that time, Al?
And what a tremendous play by John Chiskowski. Theismann, realizing 3 linemen were on top of him, just snapped the wrist. That's all. He threw it sidearm, man. He's very good at that. Snapped the wrist right into the hands of John Chiskowski. Carter in for the touchdown.
Scott Hempel will attempt the extra point. 66 yards and 6 plays on the drive for Notre Dame. The kick is up. The kick is good. So the clock is stopped on the field now with a score. Notre Dame. Smith will kick off for Notre Dame, the soccer-style kick. It's coming down to the 6-yard line, to the 10, to the 15. Harris to the 20, to the 25, to the 27-yard line, and brought down on the 27. So it'll be first down and 10 to go for Southern California after that 21-yard return. They have the ball on their own 27. Let's pause briefly for station identification. Van Patrick along with Al Wester, Bill Etherton from the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Dickerson flanked out wide to the right. Chandler split to the left. They're in the pro set now with the 2 setbacks, and Jones fumbles the ball, and there's a scramble for it, but Southern California recovered it. Kadish was right in on top of him. But the fumble has been recovered by Southern California right on the 27-yard line, so it'll be second down and 10 to go. Jones, the quarterback, on the fumble. Nice to have you with us wherever you are across the nation today, around the world, as the game is being short-waved around the world. Wide to the right now, Dickerson and Chandler, those 2 favorite receivers of Jimmy Jones, the quarterback of Southern California. And Jones is going back to throw. He sets up. He runs out of the pocket now and flips one out on the right flat, and it is incomplete. Intended over there for Bob Chandler, but incomplete. Notre Dame line putting a little more pressure. Big Greg Marks in there rushing him, trying to get Jones to get rid of that ball, so that will bring it up now with third down and still 10 yards to go for Southern California. Jones is 9 out of 11 for 161 yards.
Man, I've got to believe that this is the most important third down play. If you remember in the last 3 series that Southern California's had the ball, they've been able to move it, they've been able to get on the scoreboard, and right now they've got a 3rd and 10, and if Notre Dame can hold them, they will have to kick.
21-14 the score. Southern California leading, 6.5 minutes to play. Jones with a double wing formation. Jones now on the draw play, giving it off there to his fullback, and he cracks through to the 35-yard line and is hauled down by the Notre Dame secondary, the linebacker coming up, Jimmy Wright, and he gained about 8 yards on the play, so that will make it now 4th down and 2 yards to go for Southern California. Ayala is in to do the kicking, and fading back here for Notre Dame, Ellis along with Crotty. Well, as you mentioned, they put the pressure on. They held them. That'll give Notre Dame that football again with 6 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the second quarter here at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. It's getting very overcast. The kick is away. It's a low end-over-end kick, and a short one at that, and bounds out around and out of bounds on the 35-yard line of Notre Dame.
I think if anybody now was to have the finger pointed at them, it would most assuredly have to be the kicking game of Southern California, Van. 30 yards on that punt. And right now, Aiello has had a very poor afternoon. His kicking average was about 35.5 yards a kick, and he's been kicking certainly well under that. His average actually is 26.5 yards a kick, and that has really hurt Southern California's game so far.
Gatewood to the left, waiting for it now is Theismann. Theismann is going back to throw, stays in the pocket. Now he rolls out of it, looks, throws, and his arm is hit. It's intercepted by Southern California. Bruce Dyer intercepted the pass. Theismann's arm was hit as he delivered the ball. So it's intercepted now by Southern California's Bruce Dyer, and the Trojans take over now on the Notre Dame 47-yard line, first down and 10 to go. Cornerback Bruce Dyer picked it off.
And I got to say one thing there. Tempers are getting a little heated. Mike Creaney and the big tackle John Bella down there were taking a few pot shots at one another.
Wide to the right now, Dickerson along with Chandler. Jones with the first down on the 47-yard line, and Jones on the give to Davis. Davis at the 45-yard line, running off left tackle. And he's gang tackled as he reaches the 45-yard line of Notre Dame. Sapaniak coming up from the secondary in on the tackle. There's a flag on the play. And also in on the tackle is Neidert, the defensive right end of Notre Dame. Preliminary indication the penalty will be against Southern California. The clock shows 5 minutes and 44 seconds of playing time remaining. Notre Dame trailing by a score of 21-14. Illegal procedure against Southern California. Moves the ball back to the 48-yard line.
I knew one thing, that adjustments would have to be made on playing these receivers of Southern California, Van, and it appears now that Notre Dame has made those adjustments. They're playing them much tighter now out there. When they get to them, they're right on top of them, so if they catch a pass now, they're going to have to do it and tightly.
Two flankers out to the right. Jones is going back. He throws one, and it is caught on the 33-yard line by Chandler. He got away there from the linebacker, Tim Kelly, and picked it off. And so the Trojans are moving again. They've got the ball down the 33-yard line. They gained 20 yards on that play. 33-yard line of Notre Dame. Southern California leading 21-14. 5.5 minutes of playing time remaining in the first half, and it's very dark, very overcast, and raining at the Coliseum. Chandler and his shadow over there, Dickerson, go wide to the left again. Waiting for it is Jones. He's got the I formation. Jones will give this time to his fullback going straight ahead, Davis, and he cracks through to the 27-yard line, or 24. They rule his knee hit the ground. Check it. Where they got it? 28, 29.
About the 29, Van.
29.
Notice the ups and downs in this ball game, Van. First, the Irish go quickly for a touchdown. Then Southern California takes control and can charge, and they drive for 3 touchdowns. And the Irish come back for a touchdown. Now Southern Cal has recovered the fumble, and they've got the momentum going, or they've intercepted at least.
Here's the give now to Davis. Davis running off left tackle. He gets to the 25, down to the 24-yard line of Notre Dame. He's a yard shy of a first down. It'll be third and a yard to go. Georgia Tech beat Georgia today, 17-7. Clock shows 4 minutes and 50 seconds of playing time remaining. First half of this ball game at the Coliseum. Southern California getting 21 points in the first quarter. Cunningham is back in at fullback. Wide to the right now, we have Dickerson along with Chandler. The I formation, the give is to Davis, right through the middle, breaks a tackle, goes on down to the 18-yard line, gets the first down for Southern California. Mike Crotty is the man who brought him down for Notre Dame. Down on the 18-yard line. And that's a total now of 8 first downs for Southern California. Ball on the 18-yard line. Now coming back in is Rod McNeil, and going out is Clarence Davis. That's a change at the running back for Southern California. Ball on the 18-yard line. Davis, in 15 carries, has gained 67 yards today, so he's really been active. Wide to the right is Dickerson. Chandler is deployed to the left. Waiting for it is Jones in the I formation. And Jones now on a give to McNeil. McNeil is hit, but not before he picks up to the 13-yard line, getting 5 on the play, and Jim Wright finally wrestled him to the turf. Kadish was also on the tackle for Notre Dame. And they'll move that ball down to the 13-yard line. Change at fullback again. Evans is coming back in. Cunningham goes out. The officials are marking the ball on the 13-yard line where it'll be second down. The series originating on the 18. It'll be second down and a long 5 to go. Chandler flanked out to the right. Dickerson is set out to the left in the I formation. Waiting for it is Jones. He's going back to pass. He looks, he throws, and this one is caught on the 5-yard line by Chandler as the defensive back Stepaniak went for the football and missed.
He played it the way he should have played it, actually. He reached up, got a piece of that football. It's a little slippery. At the same time, reaching for the football was Bob Chandler. Chandler held on to the ball at the 4-yard line, and it is first down. Goal to go for Southern California. They lead 21-14, and Van, with 3.5 minutes to play here, I would be surprised to see a couple more touchdowns on the scoreboard before halftime.
Davis is back in there replacing McNeil. 2 flankers to the right. The ball is on the 4-yard line. First down. Jones with the ball on the keeper. He is hit by Walt Patulski at the 5-yard line. Patulski circled around and brought him down. Jones on the keeper. Right on the 5, so it'll be second down and goal to go for Southern California. Evans goes out. Cunningham back in at fullback for the Trojans. Clock shows 3 minutes exactly of playing time remaining in the first half. Score Southern California 21, Notre Dame 14, but the Trojans are knocking on the door. They're on the 5. Chandler and Dickerson are split out to the right again. And Jones on a give to Davis, and Davis hurdles into the line, gets down to the 2. Upended on the 2-yard line, where it'll be third down and goal to go now for Southern California with the ball on the 2. In there was Jim Wright in on the tackle. Bring him down. He got it actually inside the 2-yard line, so on about the, let's call it the 1.5. Change at fullback again. Evans is back in there. The rain's getting a little harder here now at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Dickerson and Chandler go wide to the left. Notre Dame dropping off 2 defensive backs to cover him one-on-one. Jones on a give to Davis. Davis fighting his way to the goal line, but he's stopped just outside the goal line, piled up there by that defensive line of Notre Dame, and the linebacker coming up was Eric Patton along with Greg Marks, and they brought him down. They're going to mark it on the 1-yard line, so he got a half a yard on the play. 1 minute and 55 seconds of playing time remaining. The ball is down on the 1-yard line of Notre Dame. It's fourth down, and Southern California has called timeout. All right, Bill, and now Ayala will try a field goal from the 9-yard line, which will be a 19-yard field goal. Jones will hold. The ball is spotted. The kick is up. The kick is good. A 19-yard field goal by Ron Ayala, and that makes the score Southern California 24, Notre Dame 14. Parker and Dewan are deep. Ron Ayala, who has just kicked a 19-yard field goal, will kick off for Southern California. 10-point lead now for the Trojans, 24-14. And here's the boot by Ayala. High end-over-end kick going all the way to the end zone. Is taken by Dewan. Dewan's going to run it back. He's back to the 10. Goes wide. He's going to be dropped on the 14-yard line. He thought about downing that ball in the end zone and then changed his mind, and he is brought down. On the 14-yard line, tackle made by Al McMichael. So it'll be first down and 10 to go now for Notre Dame from their own 14. And this rain is going to have a bearing on this ball game because it's raining very hard. It's very slippery down on that turf right now. Julius out wide to the left. Dewan is split out to the right. They're the double wing formation. Joe Theismann at quarterback, and Theismann takes the ball. He's going back to throw. He throws the screen pass in the right flat. It's completed to Gatewood. He's at the 20. Comes on up to the 24-yard line. And Greg Slough, the middle backer, brings him down on the 24-yard line. He's just shy of a first down. The ball is on the 24. The series originated on the 14-yard line. So let's call it second down and about a half a yard to go with 1 minute and 20 seconds of playing time remaining in the first half. Notre Dame trailing by 10, 24-14. Julius out wide to the left. Gatewood is split out to the right. The double wing formation, and Theismann back to throw again. Looks, throws, and the ball is hit again. One of those Southern California linemen, number 94, Nielsen, reached up and tipped the ball.
Man, I can't say enough about this fella, Greg Slough from San Diego. Big senior who weighs 230 pounds, is 6'3" now, 6'3", and is a linebacker on the right side. Slough leads this Southern California football team in tackles, 94 tackles as a linebacker. It's not one of the big defensive front four. true that Willie Hall has 59, but 94 tackles for Slough.
Here's the give now to Darrell Dewan. Breaks into the open, goes to the 32, gets a first down for Notre Dame. Slough made the tackle again for Southern California. First down, 1 minute and 5 seconds. 6 first downs, 7 first downs. 7. Clock is moving. 1 minute, 5 seconds of playing time remaining. Gatewood is flanked out to the left. Darrell Dewan is split out to the right. They're in the I formation. Waiting for it is Joe Theismann. Theismann is going back to throw. A flag is down. He looks. He throws deep to Gatewood. It is incomplete. At the 40-yard line, Dyer and Ayala were both over to cover Gatewood. They were closer to the ball than Gatewood, but a flag was thrown. An illegal procedure against Notre Dame probably will be declined by Southern California. We'll wait and see and keep the downbacks moving around. The ball is back to the 32-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 10 to go. The clock shows exactly 50 seconds of playing time remaining, with Southern California leading 24-14. The penalty has been declined. They want to keep the down box rolling around. The rain is getting harder. Wide to left now is Gulius. Gatewood out to the right. Waiting for it is Theismann from the double wing formation. And Theismann is going back now. He's rolling out to the left. He's looking. He's in trouble. He throws to Creaney, and it is incomplete at the 50-yard line. It's broken up by Slough again, Al.
That's the fella I've been talking about, Van. He plays all over the football field. He's the right side linebacker with 94 tackles to his credit. You just can't believe, but that he goes where the action is. He seems to smell it out. Creaney came over in his zone area there, and he just dropped back, covered him there, and was all over Big Mike from Towson, Maryland, before he could get to the football. So it comes back to the Notre Dame 32-yard line. It is 3rd down and still 10 yards to go.
Here's Theismann going back to throw, rolling out to the right. He looks, he throws. It's completed at the 48-yard line. Completed to Darrell Dewan, who's tackled immediately on the 48. Timeout has been called to stop that clock with 35 seconds to go. Greg Slough made the tackle again for Southern California. Notre Dame called the timeout. So they marked the ball on the 47-yard line. It's still in Notre Dame territory. And it will be first down, a 15-yard gain on the play, and Theismann comes over to the sidelines to talk to Ara Parsegian. Notre Dame sends 2 flankers out wide to the left. Back goes Theismann to throw. Rushes on the blitz. He's going to be caught from behind back on the 35-yard line. Willie Hall was putting the pressure on him there along with John Vella. And they finally haul Joe down back on the 34-yard line, and Notre Dame stopping the clock again. The clock shows 21 seconds of playing time remaining. Gulius is flanked out wide to the left. Gatewood is on the left side. Theismann is going back to throw. Staying in that pocket, he throws a sideline pass to Creaney. He's got it at the 50. Slips and falls on the 44-yard or 46-yard line. And Ayala is the man over there with him, along with Greg Slough again, but he slipped as he tried to make a cut after grabbing the pass. And the ball is on the 46-yard line. Trojan 46-yard line, where it will be 3rd down for Notre Dame. Gatewood is flanked out to the right. Ed Gulius is deployed to the left. They're in a double wing formation. Joe Theismann throws the swing pass to Gatewood, and he takes it at the 40 and steps out of bounds on the 39-yard line. Greg Slough chased him out of bounds. They got a first down on the play, and the clock still shows 8 seconds of playing time remaining in the first half. So now what Theismann would like to do is hit that bomb now and get on that board before the end of the half as he trails by 10. Ball on the 39-yard line of Southern California. Gulius to the left. Gatewood is split to the right. They are in the slot or double wing formation. Joe Theismann back to throw. He throws another sideline pass to Gatewood. He's moving him down all right, but Gatewood goes out of bounds on the 32. The pass is working. Of course, Southern California knows that clock is moving. It shows only 5 seconds of playing time remaining now with the ball on the 32, and they're getting a kicker in here. Smith is coming in to try a field goal now.
That's going to be a long kick for him, Van. The line of scrimmage is a 32-yard line, and it appears now that they will set up and kick from the 39. That'll be a 49-yard field goal attempt, and it will be a new one for the record books, I believe, of Notre Dame.
Ball is spotted. The kick by Smith is short and spinning away and no good. And the clock runs out. That's the end of the first half with a score. Southern California 24, Notre Dame 14.
Notre Dame Dame lines up. They will kick off. Southern California leading in the football game 24-14. Well received. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, as the rain comes merrily down here at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, with the play-by-play action, the football voice of Notre Dame, Van Patrick.
Thank you, Al Western. Here's the boot now by Smith, who slipped down, which will give you an indication of what's going to happen on that turf. Back to 10, to the 15, to the 26 goes McNeil, and McNeil is dropped on the 27-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 to go now for Southern California. As Smith kicked that ball, his feet went right out from under him, and it's really slippery out on that turf now. And I want to tell you, when John McKay and the Southern California Trojans are sitting there with a 10-point lead on a gridiron like this, they are in pretty good position. Wide to the right now is Dickerson and Chandler. Jimmy Jones, the quarterback, and Jones throws a quick pass over the right flat. It's completed on the 30-yard line. Completed out there to Chandler, and Chandler is tackled by Tim Kelly on the 33-yard line. A gain on the play of 6. Second down and 4 to go. Patulski was also in on the tackle. The ball is on the 33-yard line of Southern California. Change of fullback. Charlie Evans coming in, replacing Cunningham, or Davis it is going out. Davis had a very fine first half, 17 carries, 72 yards. Chandler's caught 6 passes today for 62. Cunningham carried the ball 1 time in the first half. Jones twice, McNeil once, and Evans twice. And here is Jones on a give to the football, to the fullback on the 35. Evans is hit. Stacked up there by the middle of the Notre Dame line. Kadish in on the tackle, so mark the ball on the 35. So it will be a third down coming up. The series of downs originated on the 27. The ball is just over the 35. Notre Dame trailing Southern California 24-14, and it's raining hard here at the Coliseum. It looked for a while at the beginning of the game that we might get through the afternoon without the rain, but we've got it. Chandler and Dickerson are split out again. Dickerson to the left. There's a double wing formation. Here's Jones going back to throw. Throws a swing pass out to Dickerson, and Dickerson is knocked out of bounds on the 41-yard line. Chased out of bounds by Clarence Ellis on the 41. He picked up a first down for Southern California. And of course, what the Trojans would like to do in the second half is play as much ball control as they possibly can. 13 first downs on that pass play. Southern California now with a first down on their own 41. Out wide to the right is Chandler. Dickerson is split out to the left in the I formation. Waiting for it is Jimmy Jones, the quarterback again. And Jones on a give to Davis. Davis is trapped for a loss back on the 38-yard line. Nice wire from the linebacker Maxey group of over 100. They're here from South Bend, while the mini group that couldn't make the trip are listening to us over in Benton Harbor, Michigan, and watching the ball game. So on the 38-yard line, they have spotted the ball. Loss on the play of 3 yards, so it will be second down and 13 to go. Second and 13. Wide to the right now is Dickerson. Also Chandler in the slot to the right. Waiting for it is quarterback Jimmy Jones, and Jones on a pitch back to McNeil. McNeil trying to turn the corner is forced out of bounds. But he crosses the 47-yard line before he was bumped out of bounds. Knocking him out over there was Kadish, the right tackle, and also Neidert, the defensive right end of Notre Dame. He stepped out on the 46-yard line. So it'll be third down coming up. The series originating on the 41. The ball is on the 46, so that makes 3rd and 6 coming up. 3rd and 6. Southern California back in the huddle again. McNeil is out. Harris has replaced him in the backfield. Out wide to the right is Dickerson. On the left side is Chandler. Double wing formation, and Jones takes 2 steps back, looks, fires, throws, incomplete. On the 49-yard line, intended for Sam Dickerson, which brings up a 4th down. Ayala is in to do the kicking. The way of first down, Southern California had 12 in the first half. Notre Dame had 11. 80 yards rushing for Southern California, only 43 for Notre Dame. The Irish outpassed them 219 to 189, but Southern California outscored them 24-14. Ayala's back in kick formation. He's standing back just outside the 30-yard line, gets a perfect pass in center and booms it down the field. It rolls around to the 20-yard line, to the 19, finally rolls to a stop on the 18-yard line. A good kick on the part of Ayala. And they had a little trouble in the punt department in the first half. 36 yards on the kick. On the give to Dewan. Dewan is hit, fumbles the ball. The California recovers the football. It was recovered by Kent Carter, the rover back. DeWan was belted at the 17 and dropped the ball, and Southern California came up with it. That's their second fumble recovery, and I want to tell you that may make a big difference in this ball game right there.
That deep van, it most assuredly has a possibility of it because it's down at the 17-yard line. The Irish simply have to dig in now, and Southern California seems to be getting inspirational little moments like this. It fires them up.
Chandler and Dickerson are wide to the right. Waiting for it is Jimmy Jones with the first down on the 17-yard line of Notre Dame. And Jones on a give to Davis. Davis is caught from behind at the 16-yard line and hauled down. Wright was in there to make the tackle for Notre Dame. Ball is marked on the 17, so there was no gain on the play. Southern California breaking out of the huddle. They've got second down and 10 to go now from the 17-yard line of Notre Dame. Southern California with 86 yards rushing and 27 carries. I formation, two flankers, Chandler to the right. And here's Jones back to throw. He fires, caught at the 5-yard line by Dickerson, and Dickerson is forced out of bounds on the 4. It's a first down for Southern California, and Ellis is the man who forced him out of bounds on the 4-yard line.
Ellis playing him too deep on the play. Ellis gave him about 3 steps, Sam.
And this is first and goal to go on the 4. We mentioned that in the first half. They're playing these receivers a little on the deep side. And Dickerson and Chandler both go out to the left in the I formation, and waiting for it is Jimmy Jones again. Now he puts him in a pro set, and the give is to his fullback, Evans, who tries right guard, gets down to about the 3. He's hauled down there by Kadish. Have a nice wire here from London, England, from the Notre Dame London law students who are listening today on American Forces Radio in England. 11 minutes of playing time remaining. Coming in now defensively for Notre Dame is Swinson, and limping out of there is Kadish. Kadish was shaken up on the play. He's coming out. Swinson has replaced him. Two flankers to the right. Second down and goal to go with the ball on the 3-yard line, and the give is to the fullback again. A fumble. Let's see who got it. They fumbled the ball into the end zone, and we'll have to wait and see who got it. Touchdown. It's recovered by Southern California in the end zone. Will that try to get the man who got it? There's a big pile up right there. The officials have already indicated Southern California's ball in the end zone, which would be a touchdown, but they still have not unpiled them. We have the glasses on them. It looks like number 77, Adams. Adams is the man who covered it for Southern California. It's a touchdown for Southern California. That's a real break. They fumbled into the end zone, and Adams, the big right tackle, recovered it.
30-14 now, Van, as they line up for the point after.
Here's the kick by Ayala. It's good. The score now is Southern California 30 and Notre Dame 14, 31-14. We'll be back with the Southern California kickoff in just a moment. 17 yards in 4 plays. The ball was fumbled into the end zone by the fullback, Evans, recovered by Adams for a touchdown for Southern California. It's 31-14 now with the Trojans leading. Ayala will kick off. Minix and Parker are the deep men for Notre Dame. And the kick. High end-over-end kick. Coming down to Minix at the 15. He fumbles the ball, and Notre Dame covers the ball on the 17 or 18-yard line. Minix fumbled the wet football, but it was covered by Notre Dame, and so the Irish will take over on the 18-yard line in Notre Dame territory. First down and 10 to go for Notre Dame. And now the pressure will be on young Joe Theismann. 31-14 the score. Notre Dame out of the huddle. They've had the turnovers today, and it's really hurt them. Julius is flanked out to the left. Gatewood is split out to the right. Fumble again. Theismann picks it up. Rolls out to the left, is thrown down back on the 5-yard line. Theismann is trapped back there by Willie Hall, the defensive right end. And they're going to mark the ball back on the 7-yard line. 11 yards lost on the play. Second down and 21 to go. Southern California leading 31-14 with 7 minutes to play. 10 minutes, 5 seconds it is to play The clock is not operating properly. Here's a double wing. Waiting for it now is Theismann. He's going back to throw. He's in the end zone. Fumbles the ball. It's covered by Southern California with the touchdown. Number 75, John Bella, recovered the ball in the end zone. Went back in the end zone to throw, fumbled the ball, and John Bella pounced on it for Southern California, and a touchdown for the Trojans. They lead 37-14. Well, we were talking about the weather would make a difference when you're trying to play catch-up football, and it's doing exactly that.
This is almost unbelievable, Van. In a matter of 32 seconds, Southern California's come up with a pair of touchdowns, and here is the try after touchdown.
Kick is up. Kick is good. We'll score now. Southern California 38, Notre Dame 14. We'll be back with the Southern California kickoff in just a moment. Van Patrick along with Al Wester and Bill Etherton, and here's the kick by Ayala. Minix is deep with Parker. High end-over-end kick. Waiting for it is Parker at the 15, goes to the 20, comes out wide now, breaks the tackle to the 25, and he is whacked up at the 39-yard line. Making the tackle in there for Southern California. That was Cunningham who made the tackle. The ball is on the 28-yard line of Notre Dame. First down and 10 to go for Notre Dame. 14-yard return. Creaney is flanked out to the left in the I formation. Gatewood is out to the right. Here's the draw play to Gulius, and Gulius runs straight ahead, coming all the way up to the 39-yard line, and Papadakis, the left backer, brings him down for Southern California. On the draw play, as they moved it up to the 38.5, they're going to mark it to 38, where his knee hit the ground. She'll be mighty close for a first down. It is a first down. 9 minutes, 40 seconds to play in the third quarter. Southern California with a 24-point lead. And in a driving rain and a turf that's really slippery, 12 first downs for Notre Dame. They flood the zone to the right in a double wing. Waiting for it now is the quarterback, Joe Theismann. Theismann back to throw. He throws. This one is incomplete as his receiver was open and fell down. He had him wide open, but he fell down. That was Creaney, the tight end on the 40-yard line. You can't get him any more open.
That's right, Van, and along with him, Larry Parker over on the sidelines there was wide open, too. Let's go down and get the viewpoint of our man on the sidelines, Bill Etherton. Bill?
Al, it's wet, but here's a report on Mike Kadish, the fine defensive tackle of Notre Dame, the 6'5", 250-pound senior from Springfield, Ohio. His college football career in college is at an end. He has a severe knee injury. Up to you.
Theismann throws out in the right flat out there, and it is completed to the 40, the 45 is Parker to the 50, and he's finally dropped on the 49-yard line. That was the report on Creaney. Bruce Dyer made the tackle. Creaney suffered a severe injured knee. So the ball is on the 49-yard line of Southern California. It's a first down for Notre Dame. Clock shows now 9 minutes and about 18 seconds of playing time remaining. Gulius and Gatewood are to the left in the I formation, and Joe Theismann trying to rally his ball club, but he's trailing 38-14. Here's Theismann now on the draw play to Parker, and Parker is hit as he reaches the 46-yard line and shoved back to the 47. In there making the tackle was Skiles, number 71 of Southern California. They'll mark the ball on the 47-yard line of Southern California. Belongs to Notre Dame. Now, actually, they'll put it on the 46, so it'll be a gain on the play of 3. Second down and 7 yards to go for Notre Dame. Out of the huddle they come with Creaney on the right side. Also over on the right side is Parker, and Gulius and Gatewood are to the left. Jaskowski, the fullback. We haven't seen Bill Bars in there today. Theismann throws over the middle. It's caught at the 30. On down to the 25. Down to 15 goes Parker. The 10, the 5. Touchdown, Notre Dame. As Larry Parker grabs the ball and sprinted into the end zone for Notre Dame until the Fighting Irish are trying to come back. The play, picking up the touchdown, covered 46 yards, and Notre Dame with 72 yards in 5 plays, and are on the board now at 38-20.
I think the most fabulous part about the run by Parker after a great catch there was hurdling John Papadakis. Papadakis was down, and Parker hurdled him.
Temple will attempt the extra point. The ball is spotted, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So the score now is Southern California 38, Notre Dame 21. We'll be back with the Notre Dame kickoff in just a moment. 17-point difference in this ball game right now, with Southern California leading 38-21. Smith will kick off, the soccer-style kicker. Deep men are McNeil and Cunningham. The kick is way short. McNeil has it at 25-30. McNeil fights his way forward to about the 38-yard line, and there he is brought down. On the 38-yard line, in on the tackle was Ratterman, 22-yard return. So make it first down and 10 to go now for Southern California from their own 38-yard line. 8 minutes and 17 seconds of playing time remaining in the third quarter at the Coliseum in a driving rain. Wide to the right now goes number 18, Dickerson. Split out to the left, Chandler. Two setbacks, pro set. Now they go back into an I formation as Jimmy Jones calls the signals. Jones going to give to his running back, Davis. Davis off right tackle. He's to the 44-yard line before he's brought down by Crotty and number 45 in there, Patton, the linebacker of Notre Dame. 44-yard line. Toots Shore, listening in back in New York, wanted to say hello to his great friend Pat O'Brien, who's up here in the booth with us. Davis 75 yards in 20 plays, and he has the ball again. This time he's racked at the 44-yard line. 7 minutes and 40 seconds. I don't know, maybe they're using a different type of rosin or something, Al, to hold on to that football, but they're holding on to it.
Yes, they are, Van. They're doing a good job there. Ralph Stefaniak is the man who came up and stuck the runner on that last play, and I've got to say this about Stefaniak from Alpena, Michigan. He had 49 tackles, 6 interceptions going into this ball game, and a young junior from Michigan has certainly played a great year of football. I look forward to seeing he and Clarence Ellis back next year.
Neidert went out. John McHale has replaced him in the Notre Dame defense. Jones throws over the middle, completed to his tight end, to the 42-yard line. And Crotty made the tackle on number 86, Mullins. Mullins, the tight end, made the grab right over the middle. That was a great call on the part of the quarterback, Jimmy Jones.
Not only a great call, but I'm sure they spotted it from up on the top side here. And when the coach is sitting up here in the booth, and we've heard him beat on the wall many times next to us at Notre Dame, when they spot a weakness there, they call it down and they use the play immediately.
Chandler to the right, Dickerson out to the left. Jones on a give now to Davis. Davis trying to sweep the left side, gets to the 39-yard line and is pulled down. He gained 2 or 3 yards. He was hauled down on the 39-yard line. Making the tackle was Toman, the linebacker on the outside for Notre Dame. Second down coming up. 7 yards to go. Southern California got 21 points in the first quarter, 3 in the second. They have 14 in the third with 6:20 to go. Notre Dame has 7 in each quarter so far. 38-21 the score. Notre Dame trailing by 17 points. Now the two receivers, Dickerson and Chandler, go to the left. It's the I formation. Quarterback Jimmy Jones, and them stacked behind him, calling the signals. Notre Dame with a 5-man defensive line, and Jones now on a give off to Davis again, and Davis is hit as he reaches the 38-yard line, and Greg Marks in there to make the tackle. Marks made the tackle for Notre Dame. They're going to mark the ball on about the 37-yard line. It'll be third down coming up and 5 yards to go. 6 minutes of playing time remaining in the third quarter. Southern California leading 38-21. They're changing those fullbacks again. Cunningham goes out. Charlie Evans comes in. Ball is midway between the sideline stripes on the Notre Dame 37-yard line. In the way of rushing, Southern California has 112 yards. Notre Dame has only 36. I formation, 2 flankers to the left. Back goes Jones to pass. He looks, he throws deep, and this one is incomplete. Intended for Dickerson. Clarence Ellis went up in the air with him, but the pass was too tall for both. That stops the clock. 4th down, 5 yards to go for Southern California. Ayala comes in to do the kicking now for Southern California. And Neidert, who limped off a moment ago, is going back in there. Check that. Is that Eaton? That is Eaton. So Neidert is still out. We'll check on his injury in a moment. Ayala goes back. Ellis are deep along with Crotty. Ayala waiting, gets his kick away, kicks for the sideline. The ball goes to the 5-yard line and rolls dead right there. He did exactly what he wanted to do, put the pressure on Notre Dame, and Notre Dame will have to start play with the ball just outside the 5-yard line.
Wouldn't you know it, Ayala has been kicking for in the first half, about a 27-yard average on his punt. If there was one bad break that he had for the day, Southern California, it had been the kicking. Now here, this kick is 33 yards. It rolls dead on the Irish 6-yard line. Notre Dame is 94 yards away from pay dirt.
Gatewood to the left. In a double wing formation, Theismann back to the end zone, throws to Gatewood. He's got it on the 10-yard line, gets to the 11 and goes out of bounds. Clock shows 5 minutes, 23 seconds of playing time remaining in the third quarter. Notre Dame 17 points behind. Ball on the 11-yard line. It'll be second down coming up. Second down and 5 yards to go. 5 yards gained on the play. Wide to the right goes Gatewood. Julius is split out to the left. I formation with Theismann waiting for it. Theismann rolling out to right. He dumped one out there to Gatewood, incomplete. Broken up over there by number 21, Bruce Dyer, who is a Michigan boy from Dearborn Heights. 6-footer, 178-pound junior, who's only 19 years old. It will be third down and 5 yards to go now for Notre Dame from their own 11-yard line. The rain continues unabated. It has not let up. Now Julius to the left. Gatewood is flanked out to the right as Notre Dame comes out of it in the I formation. Joe Theismann playing his last regular season game, rolling to the right, looking for a receiver, throws one, incomplete. Gatewood and Chakowski was both over there. Bruce Dyer was over to cover. One thing, Bill Etherton, we have not seen Bill Bars in this ball game. What about him, and also what about Notre?
Okay, the only major casualty remains Mike Kadish, who has a very severe knee injury. He'll miss the rest of the game. Neidert merely suffered a pretty good whack in the left knee, but he's all right. Nothing is wrong with Bill Bars. He just is not being used today. Back up to you.
Here's Yoder punting from the end zone. He booms it out of there deep. Hudson is chasing the ball. A great kick. Picks it up on the 36. Comes back to about the 38, and he's hit on the 38-yard line. Falls forward. Julius hit him on the 39. A 53-yard kick under pressure by Jim Yoder, who has done a great job for Notre Dame in the kicking department this year. So it'll be first down and 10 to go now for the Trojans from their own 39-yard line. If anything, that rain's getting a little harder, Al.
It's coming down a little heavier, Van, and that field is completely chewed up out there.
Out wide to the right now is Chandler. Dickerson is split to the left. It's the I formation. Jones barking out the signals. And Jones now is giving off on the draw play to Davis, and Davis gets to the 40, and that's it. Brought down on the 40-yard line. A gain on the play of about a yard. In there making the stop for Notre Dame was Greg Marks, the defensive tackle, so mark that ball on the 40. We've got Swenson in there at the tackle, as Kadish went out with a knee injury. Patulski's playing that left end. Now we're ready to go again. 82 yards and 24 carries by Davis today. Two flankers to the right. The pitch is to Davis, trying to turn the corner on the power sweep. He gets to about the 42-yard line, and that's it. Brought down there, Greg Marks again in on the tackle. Davis was the ball carrier. He's been a workhorse today for the Southern California Trojans.
Well, of course, the footing is extremely bad. I mentioned this a moment ago, and with that heavy rain still coming down now, I think that Southern California's quarterback Jimmy Jones would not like to put that ball in the air. He's certainly not going to down there around the 42-yard line. He'd like to get the running game going again. He's tried to turn the corners. He hasn't been able to get the footing there. His runners haven't been able to do it. Now he's sending a widespread formation with both receivers wide to the right, Van.
Jones is going back to throw. He sets up. He got some time. He's still got time. He throws incomplete. Intended for Cunningham out on the right flat, and that brings up a fourth down. 64,694, the paid attendance today at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. 3 minutes and 40 seconds of playing time remaining in the third quarter. Nice to have the chairman of the board of the Mutual Broadcasting System, Jack Frame, here in our booth. I think he just came in to get out of the rain, Al. Back in kick formation, Ayala Gets the pass from center and almost blocked. Fair catch is called for on the 30-yard line by Crotty. So it'll be first down and 10 to go now for Notre Dame. They have the ball on the 30, a 28-yard kick. Double wing formation, waiting for it is Joe Theismann. Theismann back to throw, throws one incomplete. And the pressure was on. He had to hurry his throw. Coming in there was Charlie Weaver, the defensive left end of Southern California. He came in the back door. Nobody even brush blocked him. And Theismann had to get rid of the ball in a hurry. So it'll be second down and 10 to go. Southern California with a 38-21 lead, 17 points. Out of the huddle they come with Gatewood to the right. Gulius is split out to the left. They come out in the pro set this time with the two setbacks. Waiting for it is Joe Theismann, and Theismann going back to throw, sets up, dumps it over the middle to the tight end to the 40. Creaney goes to the 45. Is dropped on the 45-yard line by Papadakis, the linebacker of Southern California. Creaney, the big tight end. It'll be a first down for Notre Dame. Up on the 43, they rule his knee hit the ground, but it's still a first down. 12 yards gained on the play by Notre Dame. But what the Irish needs now is to get on the board in a hurry as they trail by 17 points. Double wing formation. Joe Theismann going back to throw again. That right end is coming in again. Theismann looks, throws, it is caught. Caught at the 45-yard line and out of bounds, but a flag is down. Hudson is the man who knocked Creaney out of bounds, but the preliminary indication is the penalty will be against Notre Dame. He had it down to the 45-yard line, which would have been another first down for Notre Dame, but the preliminary indication is the penalty will be walked off against Notre Dame. 11 yards picked up, which would have been a first down. Here's the signal. Backfield in motion against Notre Dame. Moves the ball back to the 38-yard line. The series originated on the 43. Third penalty, a total of 22 yards against Notre Dame. But it's been the fumbles that has hurt Notre Dame today. Cost them 2 touchdowns in succession here in this third quarter. And that's almost the difference in the ball game right now. Here's the I formation with 2 flankers again. Waiting for it is Joe Theismann. Theismann on the draw play. Gives it off. And Parker is hit right at the 40-yard line. Parker from Cincinnati, Ohio, hit right at the 40-yard line. In on the tackle there was Bella again, and he has played a tremendous defensive ball game. And if I had to single out 2 men today, or 3 men, it would be John Bella, the left tackle, and Greg Slough, the middle backer, and Bruce Dyer, the left cornerback, who've all been tremendous in that Southern California defense against Notre Dame. Theismann back to throw, dumps it over the middle. It's completed to Tchaikovsky, the fullback at the 50. And he moves to the 48-yard line, is brought down by Papadakis. On the 48-yard line, but he's shy of a first down. They keep exchanging the footballs out there, trying to keep a dry one in here. Ayala is going to the sidelines. He's being replaced in the secondary for Southern California. It's third down, and just about a yard, a little better than a yard to go for Notre Dame. The Irish would like to pick up that first down. They have 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. In the I formation now with 2 flankers. Joe Theismann calling the signal. Theismann gives it off to his running back again, Tchaikovsky, who gets the first down on the 43-yard line. First and 10 to go. I'll mark the ball on the 43-yard line, or 44. That's the 15th first down today for Notre Dame. It came at an opportune time for them. They needed it with the clock moving. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Gulius to the right. Waiting for it now is Joe Theismann. Gatewood is out to the right. Theismann back to throw. He looks, throws to Gatewood. Gatewood had it in his hands on the 15-yard line and couldn't hold it. That ball was a little bit too slippery for Tom Gatewood. Theismann hit him beautifully. And he had the defensive back beat, but he just couldn't hang on. Little too slippery. So the ball goes back again to the 43.5-yard line. Theismann has attempted 35 passes, completed 20 for 307 yards.
Gatewood had beaten his man all right. Tyrone Hudson, the senior from Los Angeles, was the deep man there running with Gatewood, and Gatewood had him beaten by 2 steps, Van.
Second down and 10 to go. Theismann back to throw again. Theismann looks, throws, and he runs out of it now. He didn't throw it. He's at the 50, the 45. He's down to the 40. Theismann is finally knocked out of bounds somewhere around the neighborhood of the 37. He cocked his arm, but he didn't let it go. Willie Hall finally chased him out. His receivers were covered. He decided at the last instant to hold on to it, and he raced around the right side, was knocked out of bounds.
John Vella was the man who was pressuring him, was coming up the middle. The big tackle from Van Nuys was right on top of him there. I thought, frankly, that Vella had batted the football down because Theismann cocked his arm, went through the motions, and held onto the football and rolled out around the far sidelines.
Ball on the 37-yard line. It's third down and about 2 yards to go for Notre Dame. Another big third down as Notre Dame trails by 17 points. Joe Theismann calling the signals. Theismann gives it off to Jaskowski, and he is stopped at the 36-yard line. He did not make the first down. He's about a yard and a half short. When they unpile him, they're going to call it 2 yards shy of the first down. Nielsen and Vella, the two tackles in there for Southern California. It's fourth down, and the only thing the Irish can do is go for it with 4th and 2. Fourth down and 2 yards to go. Notre Dame out of the huddle. Gatewood to the right. Gulius is split out to the left. Waiting for it is Theismann. Theismann back to throw. He looks. He's in a little trouble out there. He races around the left side. He's going to run with the ball. 35. Theismann is down to the 30. He's pulled down, but not before he got a first down for Notre Dame. Little Joe Theismann still staying in there and battling. And Carter is the man who pulled him down on the 30.
Well, we just saw a good example of why Theismann has been able to run for 398 yards so far this year, better than 3.5 yards a carry, Van. He scored 2 touchdowns, as a matter of fact, on the ground. When he's in any kind of trouble, the little guy just pulls that football in, tucks it in on his arm, and goes.
All right, ready to go now, and Gatewood is out to the right. They're in a throw set with 2 flankers. Waiting for it is Theismann. He's back to throw. He throws, and the ball is batted away again. Big defensive lineman in there, number 84, Weaver and Vella, putting the pressure on Joe Theismann. Ball is dead at the 30 again. It'll be second down and 10 yards to go for Notre Dame. They're trailing 39 seconds to play in the third quarter, 38-21. And those 2 touchdowns in this third quarter on the fumbles are looming bigger and bigger in this ballgame.
Yes, there were 2 rather freakish touchdowns. Pete Adams, an offensive tackle, and John Vella, the defensive tackle, both scoring touchdowns. I guess that's the first time 2 tackles on the Southern Cal team ever scored in one game.
Double wing formation. Joe Theismann on a give to Jaskowski through the middle. He gets down to about the 27-yard line, and he's brought down there. Tackle was made by Skiles and also Slough as they bring him down. As Slough continues to be in almost every play for the Southern California defensive unit today. Ball is marked on the 26.5-yard line where it'll be third down and about 6 yards to go. 3rd and 6. Creaney, the tight end, on the right side. Gatewood on the left side. Parker split out to the right. Double wing formation. Theismann rolling out to the right. Now he looks. He throws complete to Gulius. Down on the 11-yard line. He gets to the 10 and out of bounds. As Ed Gulius made the reception there for Notre Dame on the 10. So it'll be first down and goal to go for Notre Dame down on the 10-yard line of Southern California.
John Papadakis was the man who had the job of covering Gulius on that pass pattern. And, of course, you run a fast little running back like Gulius out there on a linebacker the size of Papadakis, 230. And he's not going to be able to cover as tight as those cornerbacks or the rover back would cover.
Gulius to the left, Gatewood to the right. First and goal to go on the 10. The give is to Jaskowski. He fights his way down to the 5-yard line, and there he's stacked up. In on the tackle was Weaver, along with Slough again, and they bring him down on the 5-yard line. It'll be second down and goal to go from the 5. And that's the end of the third quarter with a score. Southern California 38, Notre Dame 21. Now Notre Dame setting the huddle and breaks out of it. Second down and goal to go from the 5. Wide to the right now is Tom Gatewood. Gulius is split out to the left. Waiting for it is Theismann and Jaskowski, and Jaskowski is down to about the 3.5-yard line, and Charlie Weaver is in there again to make the tackle for Southern California, along with Nielsen, the right tackle. So you'd have to say that Nielsen's rating is pretty good today, wouldn't you?
I would have to say so, yes.
The ball is on the 3.5-yard line. It's third down and goal to go for Notre Dame. Gatewood is to the right. And here's Theismann now on the keeper. Theismann is down to about the 1 and is shoved back. Shoved all the way back to the 5. They're going to allow it down to the 1-yard line. It'll be 4th down and goal to go. And Skiles is the man who hit him, along with Ron Ayala, who's back in there as the safety man for Southern California. The ball is on the 1-yard line. Van Patrick, along with Al Wester and Bill Etherton, Paul Pentecost and Bob Freshley. And the ball is down on the 1-yard line. 1-yard line. It's 4th down and goal to go. It's the wishbone formation. Theismann on the keeper, cuts into the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Joe Theismann took it over. Notre Dame is on the board again. It is now 38-27. They moved 69 yards in 16 plays. Scott Hempel is in to attempt the extra point. Joe Theismann will hold, and Theismann took it over himself from the 1. Ran off left guard, got a good block over there. Squirmed into the end zone. The ball is spotted, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So the score now is Southern California 38, Notre Dame 28. We'll be back with the Notre Dame kickoff in just a moment. On the kickoff, Southern California's Harris runs it back to the 24. He fumbled, recovered his own fumble. Notre Dame almost got a break there. With the ball on the 24-yard line, it's 1st down and 10 to go for Southern California. Trojans are leading now by 10 points, 38-28. Now let's see whether Jones will put it in the air. He'll probably try to stay right on the ground with 13:50 to go. Notre Dame wanting to get their hands back on that football again. And the give off is to Davis. He's at the 30. Davis is finally out of bounds on the 35 or 36-yard line. Davis knocked out of bounds on that power sweep again. Neidert and Marks and Swenson all chasing him out of bounds. And they're going to put the ball on the 36-yard line where it'll be 1st down and 10 to go. 1st and 10 to go for Southern California. The clock now 13 minutes and 44 seconds of playing time remaining at 16 first downs for the Trojans. Out wide to the right is Dickerson. Chandler split to the left. Jones in the I formation calling the signals. And he's rolling out the right, gives the ball off to Davis again, and Davis is tackled, shoved all the way back to the 32-yard line. Kelly leading the charge. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
You're listening to Notre Dame football on WEEP FM Pittsburgh. It's 7 o'clock.
Second and 9 to go now for Southern California with the ball on the 37-yard line. Davis, in 27 carries today, has gained 97 yards. I formation, 2 flankers to the left. Waiting for it now is the quarterback, Jimmy Jones. He pitches it back to Davis at power sweep again. This time he's in trouble. And he's brought down back on the 33-yard line. Greg Marks in there to make the tackle. And we moved Bill Etherton away from the sidelines out of the rain up into our broadcast booth. A little wet down there?
I'd say thank you, because I thought I was going to get lost in the red mud clay of the running track before I could get across it, Van. I tell you, from up here, it looks just as bad as it did down there, because the field is really a quagmire.
3rd down and 13 yards to go for Southern California. A big 3rd down play right now for the Notre Dame defense. Dickerson and Chandler are both over on the left side, flank wide. The official talking there with Jimmy Jones. The center is Sterling. Ryan and Graff are the guards. Adams and Montgomery are the tackles for Southern California. The I formation. Jones takes the ball. He goes back to throw. He looks. He throws one deep, and it is incomplete on the 48-yard line, intended for Chandler. And Ellis tried to intercept the ball. His feet went right out from under him.
Van, as you know, we're looking down there. Clarence Ellis has one of the few clean, unstained jerseys on the field. This fella, quarterback Jimmy Jones of Southern Cal, has put on a tremendous show. Now, we, of course, had him from the field vantage point up until now, and he just has done a remarkable job. He's tried 22 times, made 15, and he has passed for 226 yards, which is fantastic. Ellis is back along with Mike Crowley, Van.
Here's the boot now by Ayala. And a fair catch is called for by Ellis on the 37-yard line. He slips down as he gets the football. 30 yards on the kick by Ayala. So it'll be 1st down and 10 to go now. Listen to this Notre Dame crowd now. They start to yell. Notre Dame trailing by a score of 38-28 with 12 minutes and 7 seconds of playing time remaining. It was just 6 years ago to this very day that Notre Dame came out here unbeaten, and Southern California upset them. And they're right back here in the same situation again, 10 points behind with 12:07 to go.
And there's a bitterly dejected young man, Mike Kadish, great defensive tackle for Notre Dame, whose college career was ended with a knee injury. And he's sitting down there, and he's the most unhappy guy I've ever seen.
Double wing formation, and here's Theismann going back to throw. He fires. It's incomplete to Gulius. He was all by himself at the 48-yard line, and he could not hold on to that wet football. That stops the clock with 12:02 to go. So the ball goes back to the 37-yard line. It'll be put in play again. 2nd down and 10 yards to go for Notre Dame. Closing out the regular season, they still have the date with Texas or Arkansas in the Cotton Bowl. But an inspired Southern California team coached by John McKay. Last 2 years, these teams have tied. Parker's flanked to the right. Gatewood is split to the left. Theismann is going back to throw again. Theismann is in trouble. He's brought down back on the 25-yard line by Willie Hall, the defensive right end. He's all the way from Connecticut, from New Britain, Connecticut. Willie Hall, 6'3", 220, a junior. And so they will mark that ball back on the 27, a 10-yard loss on the play. It will be 3rd down and 20 yards to go for Notre Dame. And now Minix is coming into the backfield for the Irish. Bob Minix coming in with the ball now spotted on the 27-yard line of Notre Dame. Wide to the right is Tom Gatewood. Waiting for it now is the quarterback, Joe Theismann. Theismann is going back to throw. He rolls out of it, rolls around the left side, looks, throws, and it is caught. Caught out there by Parker. And Parker moves it to the 42-yard line. Larry Parker, who caught a touchdown pass a moment ago. Hudson made the tackle, the safety man, but he is shy of a 1st down. The end of that chain's all the way up on the 48-yard line. Theismann goes over to the sidelines. It is 4th down and 5 yards to go. And Theismann comes out of there, and Jim Yoder goes in for Notre Dame to do the kicking. Hudson is dropping back in the safety spot now for Southern California. 10 minutes, 43 seconds of playing time remaining in this ball game. Yoder gets a perfect pass from Steve Buches, gets his kick away, a low one, rolling around on the 25. It's taken there by Hudson to the 30. He's to the 35, to the 40, and is finally knocked out of bounds on the 42-yard line by Crotty, and so it'll be 1st and 10 for Southern California. That was a kick of 32 yards and a brilliant 17-yard return.
Well, then, with 10 minutes and 27 seconds remaining on the clock here in the 4th period, the final period here at Southern California, the Trojans can eat up with a couple of 1st downs, approximately 4.5 to 5 minutes, and that would give Notre Dame a real tough way to come back from with only 5 left in the game. But Southern California, lots of time left in the 4th period. They have the football.
Nickerson and Chandler are flanked. Waiting for it now is Jones. He gives it to his fullback. Runs straight ahead. It's Evans off left guard. Moves to the 49-yard line with it. Moving from the 42 to the 49, getting 7 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 3 yards to go for Southern California.
But Charlie Evans got some fine blocking that time on the left side from Marv Montgomery and Alan Graff, and he had a gaping breach in the Notre Dame right side and got pretty good yardage.
Nickerson and Chandler are flanked out to the right side again, and here is the give to that running back again, number 29. It's in there. It's Hughes. And he is to the 45, to the 43. He has a 1st down for Southern California. Harris it is on the carry. And he's the 3rd back to be used in that position today. 17 1st downs. And coming in now for Southern California is Berry coming into the backfield. Berry, number 23. Now they're in a pro set with 2 flankers. Waiting for it is Jones. Jones on the give to 33, Charlie Evans, the fullback, running off left tackle down to the 40, just outside the 40-yard line, where it'll be a gain of about 3 yards on the play. Making the tackle was number 75, Greg Marks, along with Jim Wright, the middle backer.
Man, if there is any place that is least wet, if I may say it that way, it would be where Southern California is now running. They're running inside the hash mark on the near side, outside toward the sideline, where the footing is better, much better than it is on the inside of the playing field.
Make it 2nd down and about 7 yards to go. 2 flankers again. Waiting for it is Jimmy Jones, who's gone all the way at quarterback, and Jones on the give to his fullback Cunningham. Cunningham off right tackle down to the 36-yard line of Notre Dame. And Southern California is doing exactly what they want to do. They want to hold on to the football, use up as much time as they possibly can as they sit here with a 10-point lead and 8 minutes and 40 seconds of playing time remaining in the ball game. Chuck Jacques comes in the backfield, replacing Patton defensively for Notre Dame. It'll be 3rd down and 3 yards to go for Southern California. Dickerson and Chandler are split. Waiting for it now is Jimmy Jones. And Jones on a give to his fullback Evans, who was belted for a loss. Making the tackle was Greg Marks, who started just as that ball was snapped and read the play perfectly. Hit him head on right at the 42. It's 4th down now for Southern California, about 4 yards to go.
Then here is a must play for the Notre Dame defense. It is 4th down for Southern Cal. They have to get in there, and now Southern Cal is going to drop back and punt, and they're going to aim for that coffin corner.
Ayala back in kick formation on about the 45. Gets his kick away. He's kicking for the side again and hits at the 10. Picked up by Gulius. Or checkered Quaddy at the 10 and is brought down on the 10-yard line. He got a couple of yards on the run back, that's all. It'll be Notre Dame's ball, 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line. That was a 30-yard kick on the part of the kicker, Ron Ayala of Southern California. The clock shows 7:45 to go. But now in a double wing formation, Chiskowski right behind him. Heisman throws one to Gatewood. He's got it and goes out of bounds on the 30-yard line. 20-yard line. Check it again on the play. Enough for a 1st down, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20, and Kent Carter, the rover back from Los Angeles, is the man who chased him out of bounds. So they'll mark the ball on the 20-yard line. He didn't get a 1st down. He went out of bounds with just about a half a yard shy of it. The series originated on the 10. The ball now is just a little shy of the 20. Gatewood to the right. Waiting for it again. The double wing is Theismann. He's going back to throw again. He throws one out to the flanker back on the right side, Parker. He's at the 35, the 40, the 45, the 50, the 45, the 40, the 35. He's down to the 30. He's all the way down to the 26-yard line of Southern California before he's pulled down from behind. Parker was finally caught by Carter and Ayala way down on the 25-yard line of Southern California. Or 26, the official is standing on the 26. 56 yards on the play. 7 minutes and 21 seconds of playing time remaining. We are in the 4th quarter at Coliseum in Los Angeles. Gatewood to the right. Minix is in the backfield. Split to the left. Parker's in the slot to the right. And Theismann is going back to throw again. Cocks his arm, throws, and it is incomplete. He threw it behind Tom Gatewood. That stops the clock with 7 minutes and 12 seconds to go.
Harold Parsegian is going all with receivers now in speed. He has Larry Parker, Bob Minix, and Tom Gatewood, 3 of the fellows with the sure hands. And as he bids now for a touchdown, which would bring them within 3 points of Southern California. I mentioned Parker a moment ago when the series began. A little did I think then he'd come right back and show me how he could do it right well again.
Theismann has had a tremendous afternoon. He's attempted 42 passes, completed 31 for 404 yards. Double wing formation. Theismann back to throw again. He's caught back on the 38-yard line, and coming in there was Willie Hall, the defensive right end. He had the blitz on him, and he hit him. They just couldn't keep Hall out of there, so he dropped him way back on the 37-yard line. They're going to place it down. 3rd down and 21 yards to go for Notre Dame. Clock is moving. 6 minutes and 45 seconds to play. A 10-point lead for Southern California. It's 38-28. Gatewood to the right. Minix is split out to the left. Gatewood just a few yards to the left. Waiting for it is Joe Theismann. Theismann going back to throw. He looks. He throws to Gatewood. It's incomplete. Traps the ball down on the 19-yard line. He was covered over there by Hudson. And that brings up 4th down, and this could be it for Notre Dame with only 6:26 to go. And now Joe Theismann is coming over to the sidelines, and Yoder is going in, so they're going to kick and hope for Southern California to fumble that ball here in this situation. At least we'll back them up in their territory deep. Yoder, who kicked out of bounds on the 1-yard line against LSU, wiping his shoe off with a towel. Hudson goes back in the safety spot for Southern California. Off the side of his foot. They got a kick that'll be very, very short. It went out of bounds on the 27-yard line. 10 yards on the kick.
Well, there's where that heavy ball came into effect, Van, and perhaps he was a little over anxious too. But anyway, it's a punt of only 10 yards. Still, the Irish have an opportunity here because Southern California is still not in too good a shape as far as field position is concerned. The Trojans playing a great football game here this afternoon, and let's see what they can do to hold on to that football and eat up some more time with 6:22 remaining in the contest.
High formation. Jones now puts him into a pro set. Jones on the give to his fullback, going straight ahead to about the 28-yard line. He got a yard on the play. So mark that ball on the 28-yard line. The series originating on the 27. Now they're going to put it down on the 27 again. Rule, that's where he went down. Cunningham is coming in. Evans goes out. Second down and 10 yards to go. Ball is resting on the 27-yard line of Southern California. 5 minutes and 53 seconds of playing time remaining in a driving rainstorm at the Coliseum. Here's Jones now, giving it off to Davis, and Davis is hit as he reaches the 27. No gain on the play. In there making the tackle for Notre Dame, number 75, Greg Marks, with the ball on the 27-yard line. It'll be third down and 10 to go, and the Notre Dame defense pouring in there now, trying to get that football again. Coming in is number 27, that's Rod McNeil, and he's replacing number 28, Clarence Davis, who's been the workhorse today. Dickerson and Chandler go to the right side in the side formation. Waiting for it again is Jones, and he's going back to throw. He looks and throws, and it is incomplete, and the Notre Dame man fell down, Ellis, or he would have had the ball easily.
And then had he intercepted, he would have had a clear shot at that goal line because there was nobody around him. And Clarence Ellis had left his man when he saw the ball falling short, had come back to try and make the catch, and as he turned, he lost his balance and fell. But it is now a 4th and 10, and Southern California is going to have to give up the football with 5:09 remaining in the game, and the score is Southern California 28, Notre Dame, Southern California 38, Notre Dame 28. Still at 10 points is mighty big.
Ayala will kick. Crotty and Ellis are deep. The snap back to him. He gets the kick away. Notre Dame tried to block it. Comes down to Crotty at the 42, the 45. Crotty is dumped on the 48-yard line in Notre Dame territory. It is a kick of 31 yards. So it'll be first down and 10 to go now for Notre Dame. They have the ball on their own 49-yard line. They have it first down and 10 to go, and Joe Theismann will try to rally him again with 5 minutes of playing time remaining in the ball game. And a 10-point deficit. It's 38-28. That's the 9th punt for the University of Southern California. Double wing formation. Ciskowski's the setback. He's back there to block, and Theismann throws over the middle. It is incomplete and almost intercepted. And Carter, the rover back, and Papadakis were both over there. Papadakis had his hands on it, so did Carter. So it'll be incomplete.
Man, and he had a lot of vacant green in front of him had he held onto that football, too, because Joe threw it, and it was right to Papadakis. Well, the rain continues to fall heavily. As a matter of fact, you can hardly see many of the buildings in downtown Los Angeles from the top of the Coliseum here. Lots of water.
I'm amazed this many people have stayed. Parker's out wide to the right. Theismann back to throw again. He slips as he sets up, and he throws it. It's intercepted by Southern California. And it's Carter down to the 45, down to the 40. He is down to the 37-yard line, and the Trojans have the football again. That's their second interception in this ball game today. The rover back, Carter, intercepted for Southern California. And they have the ball on the 37-yard line now of Notre Dame, and they have it first down and 10 to go, and we have only 4:48 to go in the ball game.
McCarty, a young man from Los Angeles who was only a junior, 2'10" and 6'3", used his height to great advantage there as he cut the pass off and came down the near sideline. Southern California has exactly what they want, the football, and deep in Notre Dame territory.
High formation, the pitch back now to the running back, Davis, and Davis trying that sweep again around the left side is knocked out of bounds as he reaches the 37 or 38-yard line. Neidert and Patton are the two men who knocked him out of bounds, and they're going to mark it back on the 37, so there'll be no gain on the play for Southern California. The defensive unit of Notre Dame got that football back again, but then Theismann had one picked off, his second interception today. Dickerson and Chandler are flanked out wide to the right. The I formation for Southern California. Jones on a give to Davis up the middle. And Davis is hit as he reaches the 35, falls forward to about the 33-yard line, and Patulski is the man who made the tackle for Notre Dame on the 33-yard line. A gain on the play of about 4 yards. It'll be third down coming up. Coming in now at fullback is Cunningham. Jock is coming in defensively, replacing Patton.
Well, Van Clarence Davis, who has played in the shadow of O.J. Simpson and Mike Garrett, is certainly coming into his own today, finishing his collegiate career with a great flourish here.
High formation with two flankers to the right. Jones back to throw, flips one up in the air, incomplete. Nobody even near the ball. Notre Dame is yelling intentional grounding of the ball. There is nobody on that side of the field. The officials say no, so the ball will go back again. Fourth down and 7 yards to go with the ball on the 34-yard line of Notre Dame. 3 minutes and 35 seconds of playing time remaining. 38-28 to score with Southern California leading. Punt formation. Gets his kick away, and it's low. And it's scooped up on the 8-yard line there, but Crotty had his knee on the ground, so the ball will be dead right on the 9. 26 yards on the kick. With his knee on the ground, the minute he scooped up the ball, it was dead in college football. You do that in the pros, but you can't do it in the colleges.
Man, that's a familiar scene. This is where they were a moment ago when they started to come down the field so effectively, and they're starting again from deep in their own territory, are the Irish, inside their 10-yard line.
The only problem is now they have 3 minutes, 29 seconds to go. They're trailing by 10 points. Parker to the right. Waiting for it now is Joe Theismann with Chiskowski in the double wing. Theismann back to throw. The rush is on him, but he throws anyway, and it is caught by Gatewood at the 25. Gatewood is to the 29 and out of bounds. Knocked out of there by Ayala on the 29-yard line. It'll be a first down. He got 20 yards on the play. That's 19 first downs for Notre Dame today.
Willie Hall, who trapped Theismann a moment ago, came in on him that time. Little Joe, a darning will-o'-the-wisp back there, sidestepped him. Hall slipped and fell, and Theismann had time to hit Gatewood on a fine pass with a very wet ball.
Wide to the right now is Parker. Waiting for it is Theismann. He throws over the middle. It's completed at the 42-yard line. Fumble ball, but the whistle is blown. He ruled it incomplete. He ruled that he did not have possession on the ball.
Larry Parker was really knifed by Greg Slough, the great linebacker from San Diego, California. Just as he caught the ball, he hit him in the small of the back and decked him. Made the pass incomplete. So it's now 2nd and 10, and the clock moves, of course, stopped now by the incomplete pass at 3:15. But it's moving on steadily, and, of course, this great game is coming rapidly to an end. Larry Parker is wide to the right to the white side.
Joe Theismann takes it. Theismann going back to throw, throws over the middle to Parker again, the same play. Parker gets a block, but he tries to cut, and he slips and falls at the 45. First down for Notre Dame. Papadakis is the man who made the tackle. Papadakis is the linebacker on the left side for Southern California. The ball is on the 45-yard line. 1st and 10. Parker had a little running room, but he started to cut and slipped and fell. 3 minutes, 5 seconds to go. Double wing formation again. Theismann going back to throw again. Throws over the middle again. It's caught right on the 44-yard line. Parker made the catch again for Notre Dame. Ayala made the tackle. It's just a mud bath out there right now. They're going to mark that ball on the 45-yard line. It'll be another first down for Notre Dame. They have the ball on the 45-yard line of Southern California.
Bill Bars makes his first appearance here this afternoon at fullback.
Joe Theismann with a first down on the Southern California 45, and Theismann going back to throw. He throws one to Bars. He's got it at the 40 and is pulled down on the 38-yard line. Slough is the man who made the tackle on Bars, and there's no problem recognizing him with that clean white jersey. If you're wondering about Al Wester, he had to get out of here to catch an airplane to Cincinnati, where he has a broadcast tomorrow of a pro game, Cincinnati and New Orleans. Two flankers to the right. Back goes Theismann, throws it. And Gatewood has it at the 30, 25. He's out of bounds on the 25-yard line. First down, Notre Dame. The Irish are moving, but the clock is moving also, and that's the big difference now. 2 minutes, 16 seconds to go. It's 38-28. Theismann has attempted 51 passes, completed 36, 470 yards. What a day he's had in the mud today. You can't take any credit away from this young man. Minix is in there and split out to the right. Double wing formation. Theismann with a first down on the 25 is back to throw. He throws over the middle. It's intercepted by Ayala at the 10, 15 to the 20, 25, the 30, the 35. He's all the way to the 40. Ayala runs it back for Southern California. That's just about all she wrote right there. 4 to the 40-yard line. That's the third interception of Southern California today. And Notre Dame was driving down deep in Southern California territory. 2 minutes and 4 seconds of playing time remaining. And the Fighting Irish have to go on the defense again with the ball at the 40-yard line. First down and 10.
Ron Ayala came up with what has to be almost a slamming of the door in the Irish face as the Irish had been moving down the field on some fine passing by Joe Theismann again, and Ayala, of course, with the key interception on a pass intended for Tom Gatewood.
Dickerson and Chandler are flank. Chandler to the left. High formation. Jones fumbles the ball, but they recovered it. They being Southern California. On the 38-yard line, Jones recovered his own fumble. That's 3 possessive pronouns, isn't it?
And you can say anything you want. This day is so unbelievable. It's fantastic. Rain, the lighting making it look so artificial, although it is only about 4:15, 4:20 in the afternoon, Pacific Coast time. Southern California with the football and 1:37 left in the contest.
Would you believe that's 4 fumbles for Southern California? They've recovered all 4 of them. Jones on the sneak stop right on the 39-yard line. 4 fumbles and 4 recoveries for Southern California.
And Mr. Jones is not doing anything right now except getting the ball and falling forward a little bit. There is a timeout with a score. Southern California 38, Notre Dame 28. Jones of Southern California with 1 minute 26 seconds remaining on the clock is simply going to grab that football and dig in for maybe a yard. The Irish, of course, want to get it. Southern California has fumbled. What is it, Dan? 5 times? Recovered every one of them? 4 times they've recovered each one of them themselves. And Notre Dame, of course, plagued and dogged by turnovers here this afternoon.
Third down and about 11 and a half to go. Waiting for it now is Jones. And he pitches it back to Davis, who tries to cut, and he's dropped on the 35-yard line. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
You're listening to Notre Dame 30.
The ball on the 35-yard line, where it'll be 4th down coming up and 15 yards to go for Southern California with 1 minute, 20 seconds of playing time remaining. Ayala's back in kick formation for Southern California. Notre Dame does not have anybody back. They're just going to try to block that kick. But Ayala gets it away, and there's no safety man. The ball will skid around down to the 15-yard line, rolls dead on the 14-yard line. They had 11 men up there rushing on that one, 51 yards on the kick, and that's his best kick of the day and when he needed it.
Man, this is the same scene which greeted us twice in the last 7 minutes as Notre Dame has taken the ball deep in their own territory around their 10, 15-yard line and tried to move with it. And, of course, they're running out of clock right now with 1 minute 8 seconds remaining and a long, long way away from the goal line and still in the rears by 10 points. 38-28, Southern California leading. Rain falling heavily, and let's see, Parker comes out now. Minix is in there along with Parker, so again they have the receivers on the field.
Theismann calling the signals from the double wing formation again. Theismann going back to throw, throws over the middle. It's completed out there to the tight end Creaney at the 30. He goes forward to the 33-yard line where it'll be a first down. Papadakis is the man who made the tackle along with Slough. One thing about it now, the Trojans will give them the short passes. They want to run that clock out. 1 minute and 2 seconds of playing time remaining. Gatewood out to the right. Waiting for it is Theismann again. He goes back, throws to Gatewood at the 40. Gatewood is out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Might have enough for another first down on the 44-yard line. The series originating on the 33. And Gatewood fought to get out of bounds, and Weaver was right with him. And along with Slough, it'll be a first down for Notre Dame on the 44-yard line, still in Notre Dame territory. But the clock shows now 53 seconds of playing time remaining. Notre Dame leading by a score of 38-28. Double wing formation. Joe Theismann takes the ball, throws to the sideline pattern again at the 49-yard line. It's ruled incomplete. Incomplete, intended for Tom Gatewood over in the right flat on the sideline. Hudson was the man who was over there to cover for Southern California. So the ball goes back again now to the 44-yard line, where it'll be put in play, second down and 10 yards to go. Clock shows 50 seconds of playing time remaining. That's all. Here in the fourth quarter at the Coliseum in a driving rainstorm in Los Angeles, California. Gould out wide to the left. Tom Gatewood is flanked out to the right. Bill Bars is the lone setback in this double wing formation. Theismann is going back to throw. Throws one out here to Parker. The screen. Parker's at the 50. He's at the 45. He's down to the 40. He's down to the 38. The stopped on the Southern California 38-yard line after picking up a first down. And Notre Dame calls timeout to stop that clock with only 39 seconds of playing time remaining. Notre Dame trailing by 10 points, 38-28. They were something like a 12-point favorite going into this ball game. Minix to the left, Gatewood to the right, Theismann back to throw again. He throws one deep, and it's going to be intercepted. Down on the 6-yard line, Hudson intercepts the ball. He's back to the 10. Goes to the 15. Cuts back to the 18, to the 20, to the 22. Pulled down on the 24-yard line. And Southern California has come up with their 4th interception in this ball game today.
In all fairness to Joe Theismann, then he just put that ball up in the air. He's running out of time, and he saw Gatewood going deep, and he sent Minix down deep also. And Joe just ran back and turned around, and he started to slip, and he put it up in the air, and it came down without Gatewood under it. He had started to turn and move to the inside. The pass went to the outside, and Hudson picked it off, and Southern California has the ball and the ball game almost certainly here at the 25-yard line of the Trojans with just 23 seconds remaining.
Dickerson and Chandler are flanked. Dickerson to the right. Jones just falls on the ball. He's going to run out the time. Not going to take any chances here. There's a scramble for the football out there, and then the tempers get a little heated. The whistle blows. They'll bring the ball back to the 24-yard line, where it'll be second down and 10. Waiting now is Jones. He just falls on the ball. Clock's moving, 15 seconds to go, and I don't think they'll get another play underway. They start the countdown here. And Southern California has upset Notre Dame 6 years to the day they did it before. You can hear the count, 2-1, it's all over.